What is up? Welcome to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us, a reoccurring special guest on the podcast, the magnificent Son X.
Let's go.
X, dude, that sounded very lackluster, X.
You know what? Here's the thing. When I see him do that X, you know what I think about? I think about that. You remember the movie Cobra?
Yeah.
The people were, that little group.
I'm just doing it for TJ.
Pig. Okay. Pig. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yep.
That's when they're hitting the axes right
that
there.
That guy looks like.
When they're hitting this together. That's right.
If you see what he looks like now, it's like he's not the same guy. That's all I'm saying.
Really? He's not Pig guy? Okay.
He's you got to see it.
Rough.
Bob, I don't know what his first name is. I think his last name is Thompson. I saw something on YouTube and I'm like, oh, he has not aged well. That's all I'm saying.
But for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is a twice a week all sports podcast where we talk anything and everything sports. We talk NHL, NBA, NFL, college athletics, world football. Did I mention NHL? If I didn't, I'll mention it again. And MLB, we talk anything and everything sports on the show. So if you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe on YouTube, to like on Facebook, and to follow on Twitter. Also, if you like this content, the best way to let us know is by leaving a thumbs up, because apparently that helps the algorithm. It helps get this fun time out to the masses. And as Grumpy's special request is that you write 5-star review in the comment, because Grumpy does like that.
That's right. 5-star reviews.
Oh, yes. But today we've got quite a few things to talk about in the world of sports. And one more general housekeeping item. There will be no podcast next Thursday.
Oh,
and I forgot to mention, we go live Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So those are the times where you can catch this show. But today we're going to talk a little bit.
9:30 and 8:30. Don't lie. Okay. Just say it. 9:30 and 8:30.
He's never on time, right, X?
It's 30 minutes late. It's like opposite of Lombardi time.
Oh shit!
It's like I've heard that before.
Yeah, we'll do it 15 minutes early. No, TJ. Yeah, we'll do 30 minutes late.
X. What would happen if they told TJ he had to vacate the planet by 8 o'clock? What would happen?
Dead.
He'd be dead. Thank you.
He'd be dead. He'd be dead for 30 minutes.
Oh my God. Anyway, so if you're new to the channel, it's a fun time. It's a nice show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video too, if you enjoy what you see. But again, as I think I was mentioning, we've got some NBA and NHL playoff action to talk about. Man, things seem to be heating up quite a bit. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. We're going to be talking about the matchup that we're probably going to see in the finals of both the NBA and the NHL. We're going to go ahead and discuss as well. There's some updates in the NFL. There's some updates. We got Flex Thursdays. Oh, isn't that so fantastic? Oh, man. We're going to talk about the fantastic Flex Thursday and how much the players are elated about the news that they could just be dropped on them any which week that, hey, you're playing a Thursday game now. Surprise! Based off of how your team's doing. So we'll talk about that, all to placate and to help out the good old Amazon gods who went ahead and paid so much money to have Thursday night football.
So we're Jeffrey Bezos. And we're going to talk about that.
We're also going to go ahead and talk a little bit about we've got some updates, Grumpy Old Man, on Matt Ariza we spoke about last week. He looks like he's getting his little chance. Aaron Boone, we're going to talk about Aaron Boone back in the sim bin once more. But I want to start off with something that it's almost like old news at this point, but I feel like it's a fun way to start off the show. Remember how we talk about how we can get a little hyperbolic when our team gets knocked out of the postseason or when we don't play well? Grumpy and X, I do have this to show to you. And I want to ask, after watching this guy, if you think that we are too over the top about the Islanders. Now, to set the scene, this is a Bruins fan.
Bum already.
What was that, X?
He's a bum already.
Who?
He's a what already?
A bum.
Okay, he's a bum already. But this is a Bruins fan. They had that overtime game against Florida in which that they lost. So we'll get to watch his reaction after they get knocked out of the postseason.
Now here's Matthew Tkachuk on the forecheck. Panthers with it down low, puck along the sideboards. Tkachuk trying to find it. Carlo loses it. Here's Verhaeghe with a shot, and Verhaeghe scores.
You start to see like it set in like, holy shit.
Once again, can't clear the zone. This team got everything it fucking deserved. Everything it fucking deserved. Turnovers, don't get the puck out of the zone, don't cover anybody in front of the net. That's what you fucking get. The biggest fucking choke. Good job, boys! You really showed up. 3 straight losses when it mattered the most. Fuck your 65 wins. They don't mean shit.
Oh, he's got a little sound button.
Fucking bunch of losers.
He uses it more than TJ. TJ has to be instructed when to use his.
Oh man. Don't you love that? After what a fantastic regular season they had, he's over here calling out, I don't give a fuck about the 65 wins. We got bounced in the first round of the postseason. We have fun celebrating it and calling it a season of success.
I'm just going to say one thing. I think they got what they deserved. That's all I'm saying.
No, man. I figured that was a good little lighthearted way to begin the show. And I mean, like, it's gotten a lot of views on it, and I totally had missed that until right now. But
now, do you think Boston fans will come out if Florida wins the cup and say, oh, well, we lost to the winners of the Stanley Cup? That's why we didn't win. They were the best team this year.
Only loser fan bases do that.
Agreed.
Boston's not going to say that. They're going to say we just had the best regular season in the history of the sport.
And we choked.
Like that fan just said, because guess what? In Boston, winning is the expectation. It's like that in some sports in New York, but some sports it's not. But in Boston, with the Red Sox, you've got there with the Celtics, with the Boston Bruins, with the Patriots. The expectation is winning, and the expectation is winning championships.
Well, the Patriots' expectations have dropped the last couple of years.
Yeah, now it's just, hey, we make the playoffs.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Because why? They're a loser team now.
The fan base is not happy when they just squeak into the postseason, though.
Nope.
Now, Grump, why are the Patriots a loser team, Grump?
The hero of the people's no longer there.
Oh, look at you, X. Look at you.
I had to bait him into it. Come on now.
Everyone knows.
There it is.
But that's
any talk
sport.
About his boy.
If you take the best player in the world off of any team, the team's not going to be as good anymore.
Sure.
They can, we'll take the B, C, and D pieces, and we'll slap. They're going to be just as good. No, that's not the way it works. It's never the way it works.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Drew L said, Son X, were you practicing your keystroke earlier today?
Was actually practicing my my putting earlier today. Broke out the putt. No, this is not.
Do you permanently wear a hat, X?
Yeah.
Well, I wore this into work, and then I threw a hat on because I took a little bit of a nap before the show. So
the lackluster performance. We're about to see a lackluster performance from Son X, Grumpy.
Oh my God! You mean like you the show every single time we do it? Okay.
You better pick up your game, X.
I'm picking it up.
You did one episode good
with the team.
You've been doing this for a couple of months now. You've had one good episode.
Yep. We need you to start picking it up.
2 in a row.
It's because you were drunk.
2 in a row.
Go to the fridge and grab yourself a beer, X, if that's going to help wake you up. Go crack you a few cold ones, all right?
All right.
Little liquid lubrication.
Gungun said last night's podcast was a negative downer. Son X, do something to cheer up TJ and Grumpy. Do your neck dance. Make a funny face. Fart. Anything. Oh, man.
The neck dance.
Jeffrey
Giraffe.
The serpent swivel.
Yeah, last night was a downer. I didn't even get a chance to post yet the podcast. I mean, it was just, what is there to talk about? I will tell you this much. If the team doesn't do something, Grumpy I don't know how we're going to be able to do 2 episodes a week this offseason. There's nothing to talk about.
Nothing.
last year, at least we had the thought that we were going to have a first round pick. So we talked about the draft picks available, but we wound up trading away during the draft. But at least we had that. We had a new head coach. We had, that was something to talk about. We talked about whether the season was an aberration or whether the season was what to expect going forward. That was to talk about. All of those questions have been answered.
You could talk about other news that's going on in the league that other teams are doing that the Islanders are not doing.
Well, hopefully we could talk about not watching TV on this podcast. Maybe that will be a topic of discussion for both Grumpy and Son X. Maybe that would be
a good one. That would be good.
Oh, you started to get people calling you out on the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, Grumpy, about watching TV. But
no, you're the only one because you're a jackass.
other commenters are starting to leave comments. I'll share.
No, they're not. I don't even watch TV.
Yeah,
you keep saying that.
He's probably on his burner account shooting in comments during the show. Hey, let's roast Grump about watching TV on the show.
There it is. Goon Grumpy, I'll let you read that.
The Panthers became the third team in NHL history to eliminate 3 of the NHL's top 4 teams in the same postseason, joining the 69 Canadiens and the 1980 New York Islanders.
Pretty impressive company to be in.
Yep.
I'm happy for them. I'm happy they made it to the finals.
And rest in peace, Tina Turner.
Yep.
Hold on. X, do you know who Tina Turner is?
She's a musician.
Yeah. Can you name anything that she sang?
If I heard it, I would tell you what she's saying. I just know she's a musician. I know she was really popular back in the day.
She's a really good magician.
Musician.
Magician.
You ever hear the "What's Love Got to Do
with it"? Yeah, I've heard that song.
Well, we talked about this last night. TJ had no idea. Now, can you name anyone who's part of the Rolling Stones? Anyone?
Name the lead singer of the Rolling Stones. That was the question.
Mick Jagger. That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. You can keep wiping your forehead over there, TJ.
Oh! Let me ask you a question. Now, do you know who the lead guitarist is?
Axl Rose, right?
Yeah, okay.
No.
After you said it.
No.
It's not.
Keith.
Keith Richards.
His first name.
I effed up the
Keith
question.
Richards. Keith Richards, right, Grumpy?
Yeah, it's because we talked about it last night. We talked about it last night.
And he still managed to fuck it up.
He did.
Let's go, baby.
His name should be Mitchell.
There it is.
His ability to retain information. Negative.
Vegas up 2-1.
Yep,
Oh, man.
Right. A nice little goal there.
Let's talk a little bit about what happened in the NHL playoffs. Even since last time we had a podcast on Sunday, the Florida Panthers closed out the Carolina Hurricanes and swept them. The Vegas Golden Knights right now have the lead over the Dallas Stars. Looks like Vegas is probably going to sweep Dallas if they can close out today's game. It's still early. We're going to have a matchup of Vegas against Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's talk a little about that.
What do you mean, TJ? Why is Dallas not in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Uh-oh.
They're winning it all.
Dallas is winning it in 7, baby. Dallas in 7.
So stupid. No.
Oh, man. Yeah, Dallas is not – they're not going to win today. I mean, and even if they do win today, it's a foregone conclusion. They're not winning the series. Just too much ground to make up.
Yeah, agreed. I predict Florida. I think it's going to be a really, really good series, but I'm predicting Florida is going to win since they have the hot goalie right now.
Aiden Hill for Vegas has been a really hot goalie, too, just going unnoticed because he doesn't have the big name behind him. But Aiden Hill's played extremely well for Vegas.
Did you know that 3 of the last 5 years, the team that won the Stanley Cup won the President's Cup the year before?
The President's Trophy the year before. Yes.
Right. I'm sorry. Yes, President's Trophy the year before. Were you aware of that?
Nope.
3 of the previous 5 years, the team that was the best team in the league was the previous year, won the Stanley Cup the next year. I think is interesting.
It happened the first year that Tampa won the Cup. They were the best team in the NHL the year before. They got swept by Columbus. Then they went ahead and won. It happened the year before Tampa won their first Cup too, correct?
I don't even remember who won that year. I don't remember. But I mean,
you brandish a stat like that, Grumpy, and I thought
Colorado last year had won the President's Trophy the year before. I do know that.
Okay.
And then I think maybe Tampa both times. I don't know.
Did Florida win the President's Cup the year before?
Last year, Florida won President's Trophy. Yep, won President's Trophy last year. They just squeaked into the playoffs. Everyone's saying, "Oh well, if Tristan Jarry had made a couple of saves and Chicago would have lost to Pittsburgh, we wouldn't have this now." Yeah, well, you know something. They were shit goaltending the whole damn year. It's the only reason the Islanders got in is because their goaltending was so bad.
I do like that we're starting to hear from fans where they're saying, "Well, yeah, if Pittsburgh could have just closed out one game, we wouldn't even be having this discussion." And I think to myself,
what's the saying? I live in a world of facts, and I don't live in a world of if, buts, or maybes.
Perhaps I've never heard that saying before. Yeah, but it's one of those that it's like you see what they've done. In Florida, it's hard to root against Florida. Let me phrase it to you that way. I like what they've done. Matthew Tkachuk, I think, for those casual fans, I think Matthew Tkachuk is winning over a lot of fans because he's a guy who plays physical hockey. He's a guy who just seems to be Mr. Clutch right now. And it's the same thing with Bobrovsky. I mean, think about it, this was with 16 seconds left in yesterday's game. Florida was on the power play, and guess who, of course, finds a way to score the game-winning goal?
Comes back out. Is it Matt Tkachuk?
Down to 10 seconds. Hit the post. Going back out in front of it is Tkachuk, who scores!
Tough way to lose.
They were done since the first game.
This was the controversial call, apparently, about goaltender interference here, or potential goaltender interference on Sam Bennett.
I don't see it.
I will say, back in the day, that would have been goaltender interference because he's in the blue paint.
I think that's goaltender interference. I mean, do I think it has any impact on the result of the series? Probably not. But okay, he's not being impeded. He's not being impeded. He then puts his stick in between the pads. The stick is in between the pads of Anderson before contact is made by Pesce.
But Pesce goes down as well. So I think that's what I mean. Tkachuk does a really nice job. He doesn't shoot it right away. He takes that extra split second, moves a little bit, and then pops it easy one to the side of the net. Here's the thing. This is the series where you saw the injuries to the forward groups hurt Carolina. I still think that, if Carolina is fully healthy, Carolina is a better team than Florida.
Yeah, and Florida's a really damn good team and a really good team. I think it's really been just Bobrovsky and Tkachuk or the way that this team is winning. And Tkachuk, you're right. What a nice little deke here as he's in close. Just the patience and the wherewithal to know, hold on, I'm going to go ahead and put a little fake on, get the goalie to get down on his pads. I'm going to go ahead and then use that. I'm just going to keep on skating. Whoop. I'm just going to put it right past him.
I mean, maybe Aho could have done a better job of getting up on him, on Tkachuk.
But he's a forward.
Yeah, and we don't. Yeah, I mean, because there's no. I mean, maybe he's looking at the other guy there.
I think he's looking at the other guy. He's cutting off that pass.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's looking maybe to get the rebound and knock it out if he makes the save on the first one to prevent Tkachuk from knocking and batting the goal in the remainder of the way. Yeah. But, it's a hell of a job there, and it's hard to root against Florida at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if you're just a third party, hard to root against them. I know that there are going to be fans who are pulling, obviously, for Vegas, but still hard to root against them. Now, this is something that Drew sent us in. Man, oh man, is this accurate? How Calgary Flames fans must be feeling right now, right? The Florida Panthers are going to the freaking Stanley Cup Finals with Matthew Tkachuk carrying them on his back, while Huberdeau just had the largest point drop from 115 points to 55 points.
Yep.
Think about that.
Rough.
A drop of 60 points produced.
That's a difference between a stat stuffer and a guy who's a difference maker.
I think Huberdeau is more than a stat stuffer, though. Come on.
I think that he benefited playing with Barkov.
Sure.
Without a doubt. Tkachuk doesn't even play with Barkov. He's on the second line. He's a second line guy. And he's been great. He's been really talk about clutch. Some guys are, some guys aren't. I don't think Huberdeau is. Kachuk absolutely is.
You've seen it multiple times in their series.
I was about to say, I think
Scoring goals in
Kachuk,
overtime.
I think Kachuk is forging a legacy right now.
Yep.
Like it's weird to see that. How often do we see firsthand when stuff like that happens? It's rare. It doesn't happen all the time where it's like we're watching a guy go ahead and form a legacy that they're going to talk about for years and years and years. This is a team. If Florida wins, right? The big if is if Florida wins, right? If Florida wins the Stanley Cup, they will be talking about, hey, they were the 8th seed, barely found a way to squeak in. Bobrovsky stood on his head. Kachuk came in with overtime goal after game-winning goal, and they're going to be remembered as two key pieces. And it's like you talk about what it takes to have a guy who is put up on the pedestal of an all-time player. Things like this you have to do in big moments, which both of them are doing. So,
before last night, Bobrovsky had 8 straight games where he gave up 2 goals or less. Now, Carolina got swept, and they outchanced Florida throughout the series.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Who had the better goalie? It was Bobrovsky. And Carolina had injuries. I mean, because if you look at everything else, Carolina was the better team. They didn't have that clutch guy at the end. That's what Florida has. Florida is going to be tough out. I don't know if they're going to win, but they're going to be a tough out.
Oh, there it is. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with Dallas as well as what's going on with Vegas. We do have really quickly a meme that Drew sent us. It's dementia and Alzheimer's versus Lou Lamoriello. Oh, man, just getting absolutely dunked on. Lou is. Oof. Yeah, I'm not sure he's at that point, but Lou is just. I don't know. I don't know. The longer and longer they wait, the more and more disappointing it is for I think the fan base not to hear anything from.
Yeah,
them.
I mean, you start reading some articles like, well, the team can't do a rebuild because they have this guy and this guy signed long term. Well, that's the mistake you make. Is you keep on doubling down. It's like, well, so what are you going to just stay on the hamster wheel of mediocrity, right? That's all it means.
I do like how that people are like, man, we were so negative yesterday. I really don't know what can anybody find reasons to be happy right now with Islanders? Shit, we're the only team who doesn't even address the fucking fan base.
Yeah, I just don't know. Tell me what's positive about the Islanders offseason. What was positive about their regular season, their playoff run, and their offseason? It's tough to find a
golf game. Come on,
can't talk at the same time, X, because we can't hear you. But what did you say?
I said they got to improve their golf game.
There it is. They
got to positive.
It's just hard to find positives right now. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, hell, you will see the demeanor change completely if you have a new general manager who steps in the door.
Agreed.
But we'd have a general manager and a head coach who won't even address the freaking team or won't even address the public. Won't even address the fans. Won't even address the paying customers. As to the future. My God, it's just sad. I mean, anyway. So I wanted to show you this. This was the goal that Robertson scored. And this is one of these special little goals right here. And it's unfortunate that it's going to go pretty much unnoticed because in the big picture of things, they're going to probably get swept by Vegas. Or maybe they get bounced after, maybe get a gentleman's sweep. But I think this is a really nifty goal here by Robertson.
Rope hits. Heiskanen has a lot of room. Sends it down low, hoping for a tip. Robertson batted it in. Into the air to himself. Good save here by Hill. And Robertson bunts it once, bunts it twice. That's exceptional.
How crazy is that play right there? He really redirects the puck and puts it on net. From that off-angle pass by Heiskanen. Then he goes ahead and bats the puck down once again, and it's like he gets the puck in the net. I think it's a beautiful play.
Yeah, really good hand-eye coordination.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say too. The first one, okay, now it's coming off. Okay. Goaltender misses it. He does a quick little bat up.
No. He didn't miss it.
Glove.
That puck was in the glove, but the glove was not closed yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was in the glove. Okay.
Yeah, so it's in the glove right here. His stick is on the puck, and the puck is right now in the glove, but not closed.
Okay.
Boop. He jars it loose right there. and then rebats it down.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, it's crazy with everything
Really
going
nice.
on around him and getting hit.
That's what a real goal scorer does. Stuff like that. You know who's been really quiet in this series and who's been really good the rest of the players for Dallas? Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski.
Yeah, he had 8 goals before this series, and he's had
Yeah.
0 goals this series. So yeah, Pavelski was hot early on in the first round too, but you know, he's an older player. Sometimes they cool off a bit.
True.
I mean, it's a beautiful goal right there, and it's one of those unfortunate ones that are going to go unnoticed in the grand scope of things.
And I really enjoy listening to Gretzky break things down. He's just really good. He's really good. He looks like a piece of wood up on the set, but when he talks, all his points are spot on. He's really, really good at that. He just looks like he's just not comfortable on that set. He's better than he was. Could be any worse than he was beginning of the year, but maybe it's just the sweater thing. Maybe it's just those sweaters.
Drew L said, "I see you're in a better mood now, TJ. That you're doing your favorite podcast." Oh, I wouldn't say this is my favorite pod. I do enjoy this podcast. Here's the thing: at least this one, we can talk about things that have positivity around them. I don't like being negative, but I'm like, again, I don't know anything positive to talk about with the Islanders right now. We can't even say great. Our teams come out and said we're going to do X, Y, and Z in the offseason. We don't even know what the hell the state of the team is.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine is as good as the next person. It's like, could you imagine a company, an S&P 500 company, going out there and saying, oh, yeah, our CEO, we're not going to speak on any of the earnings. We're not going to go ahead and speak on how the company's doing for a year. Hey, we went a year without speaking about how our company's doing. What? They usually go out there. Steve Jobs would usually go out there and say, this is what we're working on new, guys. This is why you should be excited for Apple products. Woohoo. Here's the new iPhone. Our guy in charge won't even come out there and talk to the damn press.
You mean like the video of the Microsoft team when they were releasing, I don't remember, maybe it was like Xbox or something, how they're all.
It was Microsoft Edge or something like that.
God, it was awful. And they're like, you can tell they have like no rhythm at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Hold on. Shit, even that's better than nothing. At least they went out there to talk about what the hell they're doing. Our general manager, our CEO, our head won't even come out there and talk to the press and the public and the people, the paying individuals of this. Oh, that's what kills.
Why? Because they don't care.
They don't care about the masses.
They don't care. As long as they're lining their pockets, that's all they care about. Hey, we're turning a profit. Great, we're doing well.
I don't even know. Well, I think they.
Oh, this is an old one. Hold on. This wasn't.
It's more than yeah.
They've done a few of these here, but Windows. This is the launch of Windows 95.
Yeah,
you know what?
That's the one.
We'll let you watch it. Hell, I'd be happy if Lou Lamoriello even came out there and brought some of this enthusiasm with how shitty our year is to try to pump up the fan base.
Lou will probably have a heart attack. Too much excitement.
That looks like Lou Lamoriello.
X, can you do the next thing right here? Yeah! Pump them up! Let's go!
Oh, look at Bill Gates, man.
Oh, my God. Hey, stay right here. Don't leave your zone. They got pizza at the party. You don't need to make pizza. Oh, dude. Oh, from Hitch. Oh, man. So, yeah, that was a good one, X.
Yeah,
I'd be happy if they came out and said anything.
What do you call it? It's making the pizza. Don't go worry.
That's some of the worst dancing I've seen probably in my life. There's just no rhythm, no coordination at all. It's just like gyrated movements with nothing behind them.
If Lou Lamoriello came out and did some dancing right there, and he said, this is why our team should be, this is why we should be excited. You know what? I'd give him a pass for about a month by doing something crazy like that. I'd give him a month of no ridicule, a month of no criticism. But yeah, I don't know. They should address the team. It still bothers me. It's tough to be positive when our team won't even address our fans, the paying public. So hard to believe. Wow, holy shit. Dallas tied it up 2-2 at the end of 2 periods. Let's see here. Frank says, hello, the big three. What's up, Frank? How are you? Gungun said, TJ, last night you admitted to not knowing Mick Jagger.
Jagger. It's not Jagger. You
Mick
keep
Jagger.
God
Mick
damn, you
Jagger.
can't even get his name right. I said the same thing to you last night. It's not Nick Jagger.
Yeah, Mick Jagger.
Does he play for the Jaguars?
Yes, he does. He plays for the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Besides being the singer of the Rolling Stones, he also created Jägermeister. No, he didn't create Jägermeister. He created Jagermeister, perhaps. What's up, Frank? How are you? Drew L said, I think that was the most calm losing it moment I've ever seen.
Yeah, he wasn't really upset.
No.
I didn't
I
think
don't
he
know.
was upset.
You want to know who has the best losing it moments?
Grumpy?
Grumpy knows. That guy who likes the Baltimore Ravens and lives in his attic.
Oh, we hooping. Grumpy, come on, Grumpy, come on. We need your attention, Grumpy. We're talking about we hooping, your favorite.
Yeah,
player.
that's why I just tune you out. When you start talking about that goof, I just whatever.
Why don't you just turn the TV
Move
off,
along.
Grumpy?
Move along.
Grumpy, do we need to put Will Levis highlights on him eating coffee with mayo and see we hooping having a good time? Would that make you happier?
Eat bananas with the peel.
We could do
Move
that
on.
too, Grumpy. Okay. James F has a company. Grumpy, you are on comment reading duty. James F has a comment for you to read, Grumpy.
That Bruins fan didn't freak out like Grumpy's favorite video with that kid freaking out over a loss.
Oh, that's we hooping. Oh, wouldn't it just be a shame if Drew or Alexander, somebody happened to send us some we hooping videos that we're obligated to bring up? Goon, Grumpy.
Son X, during your baseball playing days, were you ever tempted to charge the mound?
No, I will say one thing though. I sometimes got agitated when I played, and there were a couple of instances where I probably shouldn't have done some things that I did.
Like what, X?
Like I may or may not have pushed a kid down from behind pretty hard and made him face plant. This is when I was way younger. This is like probably when I was like 13, maybe. Yeah, and we got a kid into a pickle, and he was running home, and I maybe gave him a pretty good nudge and shoved him, and he face planted into the ground. And then his dad, who was the coach on the other team, came out, was not happy about that. I said, just playing the game, baby. Yeah. Yep.
Only Grumpy, what was your reaction to that? Grumpy, if we could turn the TV off, I want to hear, because you had to have a reaction.
Shut the fuck up about the TV.
That was his reaction. He said, can you shut the fuck up about your kid face playing?
Grumpy, okay, you were somebody who used to get heated. You used to get tossed out of baseball games. That's why I want to get your reaction of what happened.
No, he used to get tossed out of leagues. There's a difference.
That's my point. This is a perfect point for Grumpy to chime in and to feed off of this. But he's watching TV.
I let whoever's talking finish. I don't interrupt. Okay.
Hold on. Let me say one thing. Grumpy was the Aaron Boone of Little League Baseball with 29 ejections.
Did I ever get tossed out of a game?
No,
yes.
you got something even worse. You got tossed out of the league. But continue.
I was not tossed out of the league.
Okay. They didn't ask you to come back.
That's fine. Here's the thing.
Okay.
They don't care. They don't want their kids to win.
I got a picture of Grumpy right here. Grumpy was wearing Yankees gear today out there, and he was dressed like Aaron Boone.
Actually, Grump has those same shades. Those little Ray-Bans, those little aviator Ray-Bans. Grump's got those ones.
Grumpy leading the Little League with 4 ejections, most in the Little League series, most in the Little League season. 4 ejections for Grumpy.
Again, never ejected. Never, not once.
Okay.
Got close, but not ejected. It's tough to get ejected. It's tough to get ejected.
The fact that you're even getting close in 9 and 10-year-old sports.
I'm going to defend my kids. Period.
It's great.
Well, but X or Grumpy, what was your response when X was getting in a kerfuffle with another team? What was your response?
It's just playing hard. Just playing hard.
That's all you said? He's just
nothing wrong with that. Nothing to see here. He did have a little bit of a rep for being a little physical on the field.
No, he didn't, did he? He's so soft. I can't believe that.
I also hit a kid in the chest as I was running down to first base because I grounded out and I was pissed and I swung my arm out and hit him.
They were trying to block the plate and X just run him over to score. Knocked the ball out, scored the run.
Yep.
I mean, don't stand in the base pad. Kind of get what you get. Hot shot.
He was on the tracks.
Okay.
Railroaded his ass.
Well, I want to ask about this now with Boone, right? I guess it's kind of related. Boone's been ejected 4 times this season. What are we only about? Like he's getting ejected like once every 10 games, or what are we on a pace for? Like he's going to have like 18 ejections or 16 ejections at the end of the season. Um, do you think he makes it out of the year? I mean, he's ejected 4 times. The team, right? They're 7-3 in their last 10, so it looks like things are getting a little better. But do you think he's a guy on the hot seat?
I think I saw the stat in 4 years he's had like 29 ejections. Yeah, it's freaking insane. It's like that's his one stat that he's known for. Is like he's been ejected the most in 4 years in the last 4 years.
I think he's late getting home for cuck duty. That's why he gets himself ejected.
Yeah, he probably wants to beat the rush hour traffic out of the stadium, so he's just like hell with it.
He's so timid that I'm kind of surprised he gets tossed. He probably uses a word that they don't like, and they just eject him.
Yep. No, if you watch this one, he looked like an asshole. He was unhappy.
He's not a fiery guy. That's what people, oh gosh, he's not very fiery. It's like, all right, let's see. Is this tonight?
Aaron Boone has been thrown out of the game. He was just in the face of the home plate umpire, Edwin Moscoso. He keeps saying he's missed 4 calls. Now he's talking to the crew chief, Chris Guccione, who had to separate him from Moscoso. They were nose to nose, and now he's going back for more. He's already been thrown out.
He might as well get his money's worth.
Yeah, this is what drives you crazy. The umpires can walk away, but you can't walk away. You can't do certain things as a player or a manager. And Aaron Boone is just questioning, there has been a lot of borderline calls that are not going Clark Schmidt's way. They have immediate access to video now, so you can see balls and strikes.
Have you ever seen a guy who like screams all bark but no bite more than Aaron Boone? When I watch the interaction, like what?
I figured out why he's been getting kicked out. So he gets in the nose of the umpire. They don't like the scent of his breath, and they're like, "You're gone." That's what it is.
I mean, Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, those guys earned their ejections.
The kicking of the dirt,
ripping up the bases, ripping the Lou Piniella, ripping up the bases, throwing them in the dugout. Yep. I mean, hey, you get your money's worth. You're going to get fined. Get your money's worth.
Yep,
I agree with that. Oh man, but yeah, he just looks like, oh man, once he gets ejected, now I'm gonna be getting all tough over here, man. If somebody's over there, dude,
it's surprising because he's just he's just useless. He's just like a clubhouse manager. It's like the guy who makes sure the towels are out. I mean, I have no use for him.
Make sure the players get to the game.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, hey, here's the lineup card, fellas. Fill out yourself where you think you should play. I mean, I just I was surprised by that number of ejections because it's like I don't know. I just look at him. He's just chewing his sunflower seeds all the time. He's just shitty. He's shitty. I mean, how long has he been there? He's never won anything.
What I wanted to ask you, Grumpy, is he the Josh Bailey of MLB managers?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I couldn't think of a guy who's just like all bark but no bite. And I mean, hell, Josh Bailey has no bite and no bark. So, maybe I'm doing Aaron Boone a little disservice by calling him the Josh Bailey of baseball managers. But
at least Aaron Boone does something. He does get thrown out of the game, whereas Josh Bailey doesn't get assists or goals. So,
unless they're secondary, there it is.
He helps the other players with their kids' homework, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, there it is. I'm sorry. We've got here. Okay. Back to Drew L saying, so Son X, instead of practicing his T-strokes, he's too busy shotgunning beers with the boys. I got it.
Take him back.
Guy, Gil Martin says possibly getting back or possibly getting back Devontae's, possibly a second-round draft pick.
Why would Colorado do that? Okay, now let me ask you a question. If Colorado offered you Devontae's for a second-round draft, I'd do that. I'd move that second-round pick for Devontae's. Absolutely, I would.
Why would they do that, though?
Why would Colorado do that?
He's a really good defenseman on a really cheap deal with a team that, they're going to have Landeskog out for all of next year. So they're going to have available cap to add. It's not like they're in cap jail or cap hell. He's on LTIR, not expected to play next season. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Goon Grumpy.
A golden rule I try to live my life by. I largely depend on both your podcasts for news concerning the outside world and have banned regular news. My life has improved tremendously. I don't watch regular news either. It makes me angry when I watch it. It's not worth doing. Life is too short to run around being angry. Just is.
Well, thank you, Goon. We appreciate that. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I've turned on a legacy news station to watch.
It's like some new term? Is that a new term? Legacy news station? What the hell does that even mean? Sounds like something you just made up today.
It means all the news stations that wear red hat, blue hat.
Mainstream media.
They all do it. Red hat, blue hat, the same. So you just got to find the ones that are just like, we're just going to show you a video clip of 4 minutes and not going to say anything, and you determine what your thoughts are on things. And that does help, where I don't have to worry about hearing other people try to interject their opinions and feelings on news. James F. said, Gil Martin says that there was a poll. Yeah, we saw that. The best arenas. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, James. It was done by a Canadian betting site. I'm not sure the validity of it. And
the vote was based on parking, beer prices, and transportation. Okay, that makes sense.
And then Drew L said, you know what? F the Islanders. I got Florida now. I'll wait until the Islanders care about winning again to feel any sympathy towards them.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, when you've been rooting it for a team as long as we've been rooting for the Islanders, and you see it just seems like they don't care. Even back in the old days when they sucked, at least they used their draft picks. At least they did that. Okay.
Now they're just giving them away.
And now they're just treading water. Is there any? I don't. It's just hard to say. Next year, going in season, we have some type of hope.
We don't even know the direction of the team. Because our general manager,
who was the general manager
group, our ownership group, our head coach, nobody wants to come out and address anything. Hard to be excited. Goon says here, what a difference having a good power play makes. Too bad power plays are the Islanders kryptonite. TJ, do you know what kryptonite is and which superhero it's affected by? Kryptonite is a green stone that negatively impacts Superman. And he goes,
no, wrong. It's Green Lantern. It's how he gets his powers.
Is that what it is, huh?
No, you're right.
I know, I'm just messing around. Drew Ellis. Oh yeah, they're the memes that were sent. Goon Grumpy.
Grumpy, remember when pistachios used to be dyed red? Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes. The shells were dyed red.
Thanks.
Now they have the pistachios that are shelled. Those are the only kind that I eat now. I mean, it's just a pain in the ass. You know, look at how big it is. Look how big the bag is. Yeah, well, it's not, because once you deshell them, it's like you get this much. Well, I just rather get them shelled. Avoid the Christmas lunch. Just pop a couple in there and chew them up. I like pistachios.
I like pistachios too. I didn't know they originally painted red.
Dyed.
I'm sorry.
And they come off on your hands.
Your
mouth.
So you know that was good. So like the
who knows what type of cancer is crawling around in everybody's body who ate pistachios back in the day.
What about that magical purple elixir that you drink every podcast? I mean, that stains your hands. Got to be staining your insides too.
It's not staining my hands.
If you get it on your hands, it absolutely stains your hands.
How would you know? You never.
I've tried one of your grape elixirs.
You never sprung for a grape drink in your life.
I used yours.
Oh, there we go. So you ran some type. So in other words, you couldn't even just drink it. You were putting your hands in it. What the hell?
It fell off on my hand. Got a little water on there.
Clumsy goof.
Goon says the Canes seem to have developed a fetish for choking in the playoffs when it matters the most.
I don't think they choked. I just think for me. Go ahead, X. What's your thoughts on that?
I was just saying, I think the injuries, and then they ran into a hot keep. Yeah. I mean, it's really tough to beat. It's really tough to beat teams when a goalie is on. It's really difficult. You can do everything right, and you just can't score.
Yeah, he was tremendous in that series.
Ask Russia.
That's right. And I don't think they choked. I just think the injuries to Pacioretty and Svechnikov really hurt them. I mean, they're probably their two, with Aho, two of the three best scorers on that team. And you take those two guys, I just caught up with them. I mean, he was tremendous. I didn't think they played poorly. I really didn't. They were in every game. Just, hey, the puck bounces the other way. And I'm not saying, if I'm a Carolina fan, I'm saying coulda, shoulda, woulda. This is what, no, you lost. You didn't execute at the most opportune time. The other guys did. You lost. That's just the way it goes. Sorry, Carolina.
Phil is out there on social media saying, "Oh, it's laughable. Brandon Moore is a terrible coach. He only had 8 postseason wins this year."
Hold on. He said he's a shitty coach previously. I called him on it when I talked to him. I never said that. I think he's a good coach. And now he says he sucks again. Like I said, Phil, love you. But here's the thing. He's a flip-flopping motherfucker who just goes back and forth. He takes every side of the fence, underneath the fence, over the top of the fence, both sides. He's crazy.
I messaged Phil. I said, I guess we're back up to our trolling thing. Because I'm like, that's the only thing this is. Andrew L. said, Carolina has been swept in the conference finals each of the last 3 years they've made it.
That's right. Here's the thing. If they go to the conference finals again next year, what would you say? Who's the favorite going in? What would you say? Regardless of who they play, what would you say? Based on recent history, they're not going to come out of that round, and they probably going to get swept. Why? Because that's what they've done historically the last 3 times they've been there. That's why you say it. That's why the Islanders only beating Carolina 4 out of 20 times, it's a trend. We don't beat Carolina. You know another team we don't beat? Florida. Florida owns us as well.
Should the Knicks retire Melo's number?
Melo. Who's Melo, TJ?
Carmelo Anthony, Grumpy.
Okay, you got it right. He did retire after 19 years in the league. X, what do you think on that?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely freaking no.
Think about how bad the Knicks have been for a long time period. He was one of the little bit of the safe one of the little bit of shimmering lights in the shitstorm.
No. No. You don't retire a number because a guy played there for a while. It's not like he played for the Knicks for 19 years and they won something. No.
The team was miserable.
Well, you don't get your number retired. You don't get your number retired. You do not get your number retired for just, being a guy who scores a lot of points, doesn't play any defense, and never won anything. 20 years in the league, you figure you win something. No.
Team suck.
Absolutely not.
So that's like saying, let's say Connor McDavid doesn't win a Stanley Cup and is right behind Wayne Gretzky on points. You think they shouldn't retire his number?
You realize he's not going to be behind Wayne Gretzky in points.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
He'll be behind Wayne Gretzky, way behind.
Let's say he has a phenomenal career. You think they shouldn't retire his number just because he didn't win a cup?
Nope.
Okay.
Do not retire. You have to be special to get your number retired.
He was a special player, Carmelo.
And you have to win something. It's not a regular season.
David shouldn't get his number retired if he's by far the most dominant player in the league for his entire career. And he never won anything because he plays with Edmonton.
Well, Mario says here, speaking about Rosner came out with an article saying that the Horvat trade was equivalent to the Kachuk trade, if you can believe that.
I read that today. I don't know. We had him on our show.
That's not the vibe I got from him at all. He seemed very reasonable on our show. He seemed
rational, but now he's like, he totally does not believe in the blow it up guys like us. Does not believe in it. Said it in the article. He didn't mention us by name, but I know he was thinking about us.
He said he doesn't believe with the blow it up guys.
I've been saying it all year. Can't, and that's like I said, I'll give you I'll send you the article later.
We got to get Stefan on. We got to get Stefan on in the offseason.
Absolutely.
What the hell's going on with that?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to ask him a little bit about how tough is it writing about the Islanders when we've got no draft pick in the first round, we've got no draft capital to trade. We make no offseason moves, and our GM and our head coach have not addressed the public. How tough is it? I don't know if you took a creative writing course in college, but if you are, how much use are you getting out of that course right now? It's got to be a lot.
All I'm going to say is he's writing an article just about every day. I mean, they're not, long dissertations, but I did some reading with him today. And I like him. I love his stuff. He's really good.
Andriel said, anytime there's hockey talk, X just says the most cliche, vague shit I've ever heard. Keep at it, Nick. X. Oh, Nika. I love how Grumpy always says, Anyway, Drew says, it's like the Hurricanes fans have eternal blue balls. 12 conference finals since 2006 and lost everyone. Oh, they've been to 12 conference finals since 2006?
12 conference final games.
Sorry. Okay. Gotcha.
I'm just going to say that if they were healthy, I think they would have beat Florida.
I agree with that.
But that's the way the NHL is. Not everybody's healthy. And it really hurt them last night when Slavin got just knocked out.
God,
I saw that.
In the first minute and a half, whatever it was. I mean, knocked out.
Did you feel it was TJ? Do you have the clip?
I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah. Do you feel it was a clean or a dirty hit, Grump?
It's an old-fashioned clean hit.
I thought it was a clean hit too. I didn't think it was.
Had its head down. Had its head down. It was. I mean,
it looked like. Yeah, it looked like he almost got knocked out from the initial. Like it's like he took a shot to the chest and like got the wind knocked out of him, and then had the whip of his head, and that's what ended up knocking him out.
And then banged his head off the board. He got up though.
Yeah, it was a hell. It was a. Whoa. Yeah, hell of a hit.
And they tried to. I mean, the worst thing was him trying to get up and move and stumble around.
Yeah, you can tell he's out of it.
Yeah, he got smoked. It's a clean hit. It's a hockey hit. And here's the thing. Credit to Carolina. His head was down. Got to keep your head up.
He got knocked out on impact, ladies and gentlemen. You see how his body does not move. His hands don't move. He is knocked out upon impact. That's why his hands are glued to his fucking stick, and his hands aren't going down to brace his body, and he falls flat on his head and back is because he's knocked out upon initial impact.
Whose fault is that hit? It's Slavin's fault.
Oh, he even got his head up too.
You gotta keep your head up.
But he does. Look, watch.
No, his head is down. Look, his head is down. Oh, too late.
I thought he was looking at him.
You got to have your head on the freaking swivel. Back in the old days,
it's charging. That's charging in today's game. It is. I don't give a shit what.
Back
in the old days, I get it. I don't care. I wish they played back in the old days, but they don't. In today's game, that's charging. Come on.
He had the puck on his stick. He didn't jump. He didn't jump at him. He hit him shoulder to chest. Down he went. He doesn't jump at him.
The puck's not on his stick, Grumpy. What are you talking about? The puck is not on his stick. He's trying to corral the puck. What are you talking about? That's
right
the puck on his stick.
He's allowed to hit the guy.
He just touched the puck up, TJ.
He's got the puck.
He's going to clear it out. He's going to clear it out. It's literally what he's going to do.
I guess let me watch it from this angle. On that angle, he doesn't have the puck on his stick, but maybe he did earlier.
There he is.
He hits it forward. He hits it forward.
Right there.
I don't know. You're not going to get me to say
carrying the puck and he gets hit.
Boom. Not going to get me to say that's clean.
No, when the hands go up like this.
Yeah.
Looked like Tua there for a second.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Just to let you know, Tua has been able to make it out of the first couple of OTAs where there's no contact without any significant injury.
Oh, wow, man. He's on a fucking roll. I did see that he got cleared from concussion
Big
protocol.
news for Miami right there. Huge.
Now, another oft injury. I just want to bring this up real quick. Oh, God. Who is this? Is that stupid kid?
No, this is somebody else, Grumpy.
No, it's that stupid kid. Let me just tell you something. It was released today that Jimmy Garoppolo, even in the off season, had some type of surgery, even though he was supposedly healthy, something on his foot. And it's like, well, he's going to be ready to go for training camp.
I did see that. He did have a foot injury, sustained a foot injury.
Another guy who's always hurt.
Just then, the Ravens are signing the best receiver in this year's draft class. And his name is Zay Flowers. This is one of the greatest college receivers to ever play. And now he's in Baltimore. It's over for the NFL next year. Oh, yeah.
I'm getting fucking I'm getting douche bumps. My God.
Wait, instead of goosebumps, you're getting douche bumps? Is that what you just said?
His douchey vibes have gone ahead and given me goosebumps. I've got douche bumps.
I cannot listen to that kid.
Bateman, Mark Andrews, and now Zay Flowers. Don't forget about Hopkins, because he's coming to Baltimore soon. This is our year, Lambrody season. Just
Oh my God.
Grumpy loves his videos.
Let me know when you're done with him. I'll come back to the podcast.
What are you doing? Grumpy, I thought you said the TV wasn't on. What are you staring off
I
to?
just put it on. I put it on.
Oh.
I put it on because I'm not going to watch that.
Hey,
You
guess
can
what?
turn it off. We can watch it.
You force Grumpy's hand.
Is that what it is? Yeah, okay, Grumpy. Sure.
Anytime you play that kid,
Okay.
I think we need to get a meet and greet.
Drew L. Grumpy.
TJ, how was your prancer size class since the last podcast?
It's good. Fantastic.
These
Nick
guys little
E
ankle weights.
says here, Sunex TJ Grumpy. How are you guys doing tonight? Doing well.
Doing well.
Nick E, hopefully you are too. And guys, watching We Are Marshall. How do you guys rate that movie? I like We Are Marshall.
I liked it.
I thought it was good.
Mhm.
For a sport, that was a good sports movie. Very good.
It's actually, isn't it a Disney movie too?
I
Yeah,
don't
think
know.
so.
I think
Well,
it is a Disney movie.
Well, an old Disney movie. So
Yeah.
it was probably pretty good. If it came out today, well, all the players would be girls and they would make some heroic effort to somehow lead a charge to have women's football. And, no.
Matthew McConaughey. All right.
No, it would be somebody else.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Celtics looking like they're going to force game 6.
Hey man, could you imagine the Celtics after 0-150 when teams go down 0-3? Could you imagine the Celtics winning it in 7?
Yeah, I'm going to say one thing. I think you're going to see this series go a little bit longer because the NBA is like, hey, we need to make our money. We need more games.
They're not going to start the first game of the finals until June 1st.
No, you thought you said June 8th.
No, I think it was June 1st.
I swear you said June 8th the last time we talked about this, but it could be June 1st. That's what, Tuesday? Wednesday? No. Wednesday or Tuesday next week?
I don't know.
You no sé. Everybody's favorite beta male manager, Aaron Boone. Goon Grumpy.
Gary Sanchez, bye-bye. But isn't he probably better than at least 2 of the crappy Mets catchers? He's done. He's done. The only time he was any good when Joe Girardi was the manager. We talked about it on the show before. Joe Girardi was too tough on the young guys, the modern MLB players. Well, all I know is since Boone's been here, Yankees haven't won anything. They get beat by Houston every single year. You trying to tell me if the Yankees somehow make it into the playoffs? And now the other team's just getting better. Boone keeps the same team every year. Well, guess what happens? You go backwards.
Who else does that?
I mean, I don't know, but
No,
Boston's
you're
passed
right.
them. Tampa Bay's passed them. They might not even make the playoffs this year. I think Boston is Baltimore's passed them. I'm sorry. I think that Baltimore just swept the Yankees. Think about that. Oh, no, maybe the Yankees won 1 game. The Yankees used to just own Baltimore. That was like 11, 12 wins every year.
They put up like 4 or 7 runs against them in like a couple, like 1 or 2 innings.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. The Yankees were up 5-1. They had 7 runs or 8 runs in the 7th inning, and they wound up losing. And it's like, you never lost to Baltimore. Now Baltimore's a good team. Boston, I think, is in last place, but they have a winning record. Yankees might not even make the playoffs. How does the GM, I said it last year, GM and manager needed to go because you can't have that level of failure every year. You get to the same spot every year and you lose. At some point in time, you got to move on from those guys. GM, first
they
of all.
need to get rid of Carolina for the Canes. Then they need to get rid of their GM and their coach, since they can't make it out of the.
It's different this year for them. Injuries hurt, and that's I think was more to do with it than anything else. But I mean, they ran across a Florida team who again has beaten 3 of the top 4 teams in the NHL. That doesn't happen very often. I mean, Carolina was number 2 in the NHL. Boston was the best team in the NHL. and now you go ahead and knock out right after that.
And Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah, that's right. Toronto, who is the 4th best team in the NHL. So you beat number 1, number 2, and number 4 in best of 7 series.
I mean, number
Pretty
3.
damn good.
Number 3 is Vegas. Right? Number 3 was Vegas, I believe.
Top 4 teams, that'd be wild.
Yep. Yeah, they were number 3. Yep.
TJ, I would look up Gary Sanchez Mets tribute so we can all laugh together.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Taves only has 1 year left on his contract, and his offense was down too. Yeah, there's no way in hell he's coming, though. That's about the best way to put it. There's no way in hell he's coming to the Islanders. No way. And we would have to give up an arm and a leg in order to bring him here. But Drew L., grumpy old man.
TJ, also Grumpy's favorite person, that was that shitbag you just had on earlier, was sent in the DMs.
There it is. Ian M., grumpy.
At this point, a full retool for the Islanders is off the table. I would trade Pajot, Palmieri, Lee, Nelson for a first. Well, you can get something for Nelson. You absolutely could. Pajot, you get something for him.
I think
Palmieri
for a first each.
Oh, I don't think you get a first-round pick for Lee, ever.
You're going to get more than a first-round pick for Nelson. You'll get at least a first-rounder for Jean-Gabriel Pajot, and I think Palmieri, probably not a first-round, maybe like a second.
And Lee a third, and you're going to have to eat half the contract. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to roll the same group out again, and they'll just sign some other ham and eggers that are just going to prolong the agony. It's all you're doing is just prolonging the agony. It's all you're doing with the Islanders. There's no future right now in this team, just none. It's a team that as good as it's ever going to get is now or was this playoff run. They're not going to be getting better. They're just not. And they're just getting older with nobody coming up through the system because they don't have anybody.
Grumpy, Goon.
What happens when you get thrown out of a Little League game? You have to sit in your car until the game is over? I wouldn't know.
No. What you do is you pace around in the outfield.
Oh, I remember that.
Have been thrown out.
I remember that. Oh, well, no. Okay, I wasn't coaching. I wasn't coaching there. I wasn't coaching.
Even worse, he was a fan and got thrown out of the game.
That's right.
It was funny
because the umpire was an absolute asshole. The temperature, we were down in Aiken, South Carolina. The temperature was like 107. And they had a rule that you could not bring drinks. You had to buy drinks. So you couldn't. I said, so hold on. So these kids are not allowed to bring water. Well, they can have a team bucket of water. And I'm like, absolutely not. They said, I'm not going to make the guy. I said, they're going to have to drink. I said, you're out of here. You're out of here. I'm like,
you take one more step in with that cooler bag, you're gone.
Wham! And I went.
Look at I'm going.
So I stood out there in center field. I'm like, yeah, the whole game.
The kids were tipping their hats to you out in center, going out to the outfield. You were watching the game through the fence. Yep. Shit, I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was funny.
And his thing, I wasn't thrown out. I wasn't allowed in. It's a difference.
Yeah. He was barred from the premises.
Yeah. He was going to try to call the cops on me. I said, for what? For you letting boys dehydrate on the field? Yeah. Let's see how that goes, jackass.
Let's bring the cops.
Bring them. Let's see how that goes.
Drew L says, if anything, Denver should retire Melo's number, but that's besides the point.
No one should retire his number. No one.
Goon.
10 years from now, no one's even going to remember Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, shit.
People still remember who Allen Iverson was.
What do you remember about Allen Iverson?
That he cooked.
Practice.
Thank you. Practice.
No.
Practice. Allen Iverson hasn't had his number retired. You want to know why? He never won anything.
People still remember who Mike Vick was.
You have to be an all-time great to get your number retired.
And AI was that.
No, he wasn't.
Agree to disagree, Grump.
What did he ever win?
The hearts of the people.
Did he ever even win an MVP trophy? I don't know. Did Carmelo Anthony win any hardware? Nope.
Got another comment here from Goon Grumpy.
Grumpy, did you ever drink so much of that mysterious grape syrup that your pee-pee turned purple? No.
I don't know. Now you're gonna make me question that, Grumpy.
The
Got a
answer's
comment
no.
here from Goon Goon.
Grumpy dropping F-bombs tonight. Love it. Hickory dickory dock.
There it is. Grumpy, you're not gonna finish the rest of that?
I'm not going to finish.
From Andrew Dice Clay? Really?
Not.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get thrown. He doesn't want the podcast to get thrown or barred from the premises next.
Okay.
Drew says apparently Slavin, after his injury, was sitting up in the clubhouse eating pizza. I guess that's a concussion protocol hockey players that do nowadays. Very true.
Drill said
He faked the concussion so he could get a snack. That's what it was.
I'm gonna trademark douche bumps, Son X.
Yeah, I was about to say it needs to be trademarked. That was good. That was TJ. Applaud yourself. Do it.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna take credit. That's an Anthony Cumia.
Oh.
He uses douche bumps, so I'm not gonna take credit for it. But I heard it there. I'm like, I like that.
So you stole. Okay, you stole somebody.
I gave him credit. I'm paying him homage. I didn't come up with that.
Well, then clap for him.
Is that what you're looking for, X?
We need somebody else working that board.
Yeah.
Why don't one of your cats work the board? They'll be just as good as you are.
Yeah, let them just walk around on it. I'm sure they'd have better timing than you do.
Okay. Continue along, please, gentlemen. Grumpy.
It says, doesn't We Hoop and live near Grumpy? I have no idea.
He does.
So can you both meet up for tea and biscuits? That kid's an embarrassment. His parents hate him.
I would love if you actually met him in real life and you said you're an embarrassment.
Grumpy.
And he probably say, yeah, but look at the money I make off my YouTube site. Grow up, kid.
He has TikTok, not YouTube, Grumpy.
His whatever. I don't even care. You're a flash in the pan.
Here, Grumpy.
If Showalter was the Yanks manager, would they have prevented the Astros from continuously taking their lunch money and giving them wedgies? Not now. I think it's just different. If Girardi was still there, it wouldn't happen. It's Aaron Boone. He's just soft. And you notice how the Yankees never really complained too much about the cheating scandal with Houston because they were doing it too.
Yep, trying to keep
not
it
as blatant, not as blatant as Houston, but they would do. They all do it.
Yeah.
When you don't hear teams speak out against other teams, it's because they don't want to get caught. It means they're doing something too. They don't. We're not going to go. We're not going to stick our toe in that water.
You're like, good. The eyes are not on us.
Drew L said, yeah, I'm currently in a space with Alex, just sitting idle, talking Islanders. And man, I just so done with talking Islanders till Saturday. Like, what is there to talk about? Yeah, I understand that. And Mario Grumpy.
Melo is the old-time leading scorer for Team USA. Several gold medals. Yeah, I don't care. It's only because he never turned them down. And I'm not questioning him playing on that team, but I'm sorry. No.
I feel like
no on Carmelo Anthony.
See, dude, I feel like there's good players who just get stuck with shitty situations. Like, okay, I know I'm going to a different topic, but like Harry Kane. Would you say that Tottenham should not retire his number when he's probably the all-time leading scorer for Tottenham Hotspurs? He's done the most for the Tottenham Hotspurs, but he's never won a trophy there.
There's only so many numbers you can put on the backs of jerseys. You have to be truly special to get your number retired. Truly special. Look at the Yankees. How many numbers they have retired? They're running out of freaking numbers.
Well, I'm just saying a guy who's given everything for like that team or that club, like,
okay,
I don't know.
Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Carmelo Anthony. No.
Yeah, he goes right in with
No.
Yankees history is a lot different than the Knicks.
Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere. These guys won championships. Clyde Frazier. Carmelo. He didn't even play for the Knicks that long. No.
Iverson's number is retired. Thank you, Andrew L.
Okay. So
Tony G says it's douche chills, not douche bumps. Damn it. Okay. I screwed it up. I couldn't even get the damn thing right.
Why am I surprised that TJ messed it up? I don't even know what it is.
Number is retired, Grump. So now is that going to change your stance?
What was his neighborhood number?
It's his high school number, Grumpy. They retired.
Well, that's possible. No, here's the thing. High school, that's fine.
I'm just kidding. TJ,
high school number
soundboard because I could implement my sound effects. I need to just look at him. I haven't even read that email yet. I'm sorry.
He's awful. He's useless.
That's me. I'm useless. Thank you. Drew L. Grumpy.
You just did that one. TJ should let me work the soundboard because, okay, there you go.
I'm sorry.
James F. says, guys, Miami's about to lose again. Are they in trouble? I think they will have to win the next home game, though.
Yep.
I wanted
they had an injury to a guy who's been playing really well. I think his name was Bradley. Twisted his ankle pretty severely, did not play today. They're going to have to win at home, though. And I think they will. I think they'll close them out.
I want to bring this up, too. There's some heat between, pun intended, there's some heat between the Miami Heat and the Nuggets dating from quite some time ago, Grumpy. I'm not sure, and I think X had sent this to me. This is, I think, from 2 years ago, where Jokic happened to get in a little bit of an altercation here.
Deservingly so, though. Jokic, watch here. Just watch.
Watch it, and then we'll show Shaq. We'll show Shaq, Charles Barkley, and Ernie talking about it afterwards.
Oh, so Morris.
That's X right there.
Absolutely.
That's X right there.
First off, Morris takes a freaking cheap shot at him.
That's X. Boing.
Yeah, that was that kid. That was in the pickle right here.
Marquise Morris.
Boing.
It took Morris out for 4 months, I believe.
Tough shit. He's a piece of he's useless anyway.
He's a dirty.
And then did you see what Jimmy Butler was saying after that happened too?
I'm gonna get you at the end of this game,
So
and they're all
meet me
trying
outside.
to
Meet me outside after the game. Meet me outside. Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy Butler would get squashed.
He would have got his ass kicked.
You know, Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler, but come on. Those Eastern Europeans, you don't fuck with those Eastern Europeans for
His
that.
His brothers would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's got some big. I think he's the baby. He's the baby of the
litter.
Yeah, he's the youngest one of them. Yeah.
Okay, let's watch what they had to say about it. Now, this was 2 years ago, and if they're facing off in the NBA Finals against each other, I'm going to go out on a limb and say things are going to be a little physical.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you're saying they both should be suspended?
One game, yes.
Yes, probably one game.
because of the letter of the law of the NBA. But I like what the Joker did.
But if there wasn't a letter of the law, you're okay with what Joker did?
Wait, what did Joker do?
No, I'm just saying.
What did Joker do? Hold on, Chuck.
Gave him a shot in the back and whiplashed him.
No, whoa, hold on, Ernie.
Did he not?
Get him, Shaq. Ernie.
Did he not?
Ernie, it's called retaliation.
Yes, it is.
First of all, when you hit me, don't turn around. Don't turn around, Brad Miller, because I'm swinging. Do not turn around. You're either going to take it in front or take it in the back. As a big guy, when a little guy hits you, you got to touch him on back. I have no problem with what the Joker did. I actually like it as a big guy. You got these guys fouling on you, hanging on. He hit them. Intentional, unnecessary roughness. So what do you do as a big guy? You go hit him back. When you don't turn your head because it's coming. You're either going to get it in the front or you're either going to get it in the back.
Was that a dangerous and dirty play, as Eric Spoelstra said?
No.
Really quickly, look at Shaq smile as he's talking about this. I'm going to fucking tattoo your ass.
You know why he's smiling like that? Because he's thinking that is the same shit I would have done if I was out there.
I'm going to tell you what. Let me just tell you what. I don't watch a whole lot of pro basketball, but I love watching the TNT show after the game.
Great together.
Because Kenny is just there. Kenny Smith is just there. And he played for North Carolina. So, I tolerate him. But Shaq and Charles Barkley, they're just great. Yeah. They're really good. You know what? They speak that they're old school guys. You listen to Shaq. He's just, you could tell he was raised right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same he always Barkley. Is. You get so many of these commentators now, they're just, no. These are real men up there telling you what they think. I love these guys. They're great. Fantastic. Go ahead, finish the tape. I want to hear what Charles got to say because he was going to lose his freaking mind.
Was that a dangerous and dirty play, as Eric Spoelstra said?
No, Eric Spoelstra just wrong. He just offended this guy. Ernie, I'm watching all these fools on television all day talk about this. It was like, well, first of all, Morris started it. Let's get first. Joker retaliated. And then people say, well, he hit him in the back. Well, if you hit me, I'm with Shaq on it. Let me tell you something, Ernie. If you hit me, you better not turn your damn back because I'm coming back at you. You can't hit somebody and turn your back. That's like Kenny. is the most mild-mannered, nice dude in the world. If somebody hit him,
we swinging.
We swinging.
We swinging.
Kenny. It's nice how Charles got Kenny involved because he's just to me he's almost like an afterthought. When you think of that, I don't even think of Kenny Smith. I don't, and he's good at what he does. Also, okay. I mean, Ernie's like the ringmaster, and he lets those guys do their stuff.
He keeps them all on task, and he's like, "I'm just going to steer the conversation. I'm going to bring up a point, and then I'm just going to let everybody else take it. And then once I feel like this point has gotten as much utility and much use as we can, time to bring up the next point and just sit back and let you guys do your thing."
I feel like Ernie is like TJ with Grump, who he gets Grump on a very heated topic, and then he's like, "Okay, Grump, now we're going to go on to the next topic of discussion." He kind of he brings it back in.
Kenny Smith is easily the third wheel, but he serves a purpose there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they should kick him off the show, but it's Shaq and Barkley. They're both good, and I love Shaq. I just love Shaq.
Who does?
I watched, like I said, I watched something, and you could just tell how he did a special, some little thing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and when he talked about Wilt Chamberlain, it was everything, Mr. Chamberlain, Mr. Chamberlain, Mr. Chamberlain. Like I said, his dad was in the military, and you could just tell he was raised right. When I was a kid growing up, you never called an adult by their first name. It was Mr. and Mrs. always. And you both were raised that same way. Even to this day, Mr. and Mrs. always for an elder. Where now it's like, hey, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Mr. Grumpy, Mr. Grumpy, can I have a word, Mr. Grumpy? Can I get your autograph? Grumpy! Just like Piazza Grump. Like
Grumpelstiltskins.
Piazza!
That's what I was going to do. I was call back to that, Grumpy, for you. Speaking more on the basketball. Now, this happened this week. John Morant went on Instagram late in the evening. He said, "Love you, Ma. You're the greatest, baby girl. Love you," to his daughter. "And I love you, Pops." And then he came out with the last one, like a cryptic message where he said, "Bye." And they went ahead and did a wellness check, and he was all okay. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just getting off of social media." I don't know. Usually when you see stuff like that, maybe you could make a post of like, "I'm not going to be involving on social media," or something of that nature. But I'm like, I think it's good for him to get off of social media. I think there's a better way to go about announcing that, though.
How about a phone call to your dad, your mom, your whoever else was on there, just saying, yeah, or text message even, and just say, "Hey, I'm getting off of social media." That's
so it's not like you're leaving them in the dark too, because you left everybody in the dark. Yeah. You didn't tell anybody. It was almost like, because people, it's funny. You look at the comments. The comments are fucking gold. The comments are gold. Hold on, I gotta pull up.
Undefeated still.
Yeah, I don't want to screw them up, so let me get them pulled up there. I'll bring that up. Grumpy, keep reading comments, and I will bring this up.
I was just going to comment on that situation. That guy is pretty much buried his career.
I don't think so. He's extremely talented.
He was supposed to be the face of the NBA, the franchise. It's what he was supposed to be. He's supposed to be the next guy.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you got to think Giannis is the face of the league now, don't you?
No, he had more popularity than John.
Plays for freaking Memphis. He plays for Memphis.
Doesn't matter. He's a flashy player that people like to watch. Ugh. That's what I'm saying.
Ugh. I like the memes. They're great. Where it's like John Morant faking suicide to see if Adam Silver will let him play in the start of the season. He's like, close his eye, but keep him one eye open. I like the comments on this thread. It's got 55,000 likes. You're a horrible person. I love like the freaking internet always goes hard, but it's like I do love some of these ones where it's great. Oh man, oh man.
Should you just roll through them? I mean, well, I guess you look at them.
Okay, I've seen a few of these earlier. There's some ones that I wanted to see, but like it's tough. That was really the big one where it was like I thought this was funny, where the half like wink open, where it was like, because it almost comes off if you're reading that and you're not really in tune with him or he hasn't told you, it almost comes off like I'm going to do something that drastically is going to harm and affect myself, where it's like, I love you too, I love you, Pops, and you say bye. Not I'm leaving social media, goodbye. You couldn't have added like a few more words to that. You couldn't have told your family, couldn't have told your baby mama, couldn't have told your dad, couldn't have told your mom, couldn't have told anybody like that, so that they weren't worried about your well-being, where they had to do a wellness check on you. Couldn't have given him a phone call or a text message or anything like that? Like text message saying, hey, I'm leaving social media. We'll post about it tonight. Nothing like that could happen, huh? Okay.
My bags are packed. I'm ready to go.
James F. here, Grumpy.
Just saw the new Flash movie trailer. Guess who's back as Batman? Michael Keaton is back.
Yep.
He's too old for that role. I realize in the comic books, Batman was like a guy in his 50s. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like I don't know.
What do you guys think about here? The Thursday flex games for the NFL. That just came out recently. They came up to a vote and they said, we're going to do Thursday flex games, guys.
Amazing. Amazing how the NFL, those owners will agree to that stuff. Anything that continues to line their pockets. It all because last year's Thursday night games on Amazon Prime sucked out loud. They were not getting the viewership that they wanted. And Jeff Bezos, he's the guy who owns Amazon, right?
Yep.
Bezos.
Yep.
He's like, dude, I'm giving you, 500.
What was the
whatever.
contract? How much did they sign the contract for to give them the rights?
I
Amazon
don't know.
Prime.
I'll tell you in a second. It was an 11-year deal that was worth about, I think, $1 billion.
I mean, he is shit.
$1 billion a year. 11 years, $1 billion a year.
So that's like $100 million a year.
No.
No, $1 billion a year.
$1 billion a year, Grumpy.
Oh,
11 years, $1 billion a year.
Okay, because the games were terrible, the production values were terrible, everything was terrible. But what does it say? All they care about is the money and their corporate partners. That's it.
The players.
That's it. Because now you're able to flex games, and I think they have to give you a 3 or 4 week time, a 3 or 4 week window for the flex game, right? But as Dan Patrick says, they don't care about the fans. I mean, let's say you want to, I'm buying tickets for me and my family of 4. It's going to cost us $1,000 to go for a Sunday afternoon, whatever it is.
I'm going to get myself a hotel. I'm going to go ahead and get myself accommodations. Maybe I fly into the game. I'm sorry, Grumpy, but I'll let you continue.
And then all of a sudden, 4 weeks before you're making that trip, it's going to be a Thursday night now. Well,
hope you ordered flight insurance.
It's like they don't care about the fans. They don't care about the players. They don't care about anything but the money. That's all they care about. Nothing else matters to the NFL and those owners. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
And that's what they talk about. It's almost like, and I'll play a little bit of this clip from Dan Patrick. I'm going to use the restroom, but he talks about, it's almost encouraging fans to stay at home and watch from the TV instead of going to these games, because when you have the possibility at the drop of a hat within 3 to 4 weeks to say, hey, we're changing up your game. We're moving you to Thursday night, completely different day. Going to change the time. And it just throws everything into flux. But listen to Dan Patrick here too, Grumpy.
The NFL will have the capacity to flex a limited number of late-season Thursday night football games. That's the Amazon Prime streaming platform. And it was a close vote, the spring meetings there, but they decided, and there were a couple of old-school owners who were not in favor of this, including the Giants owner, John Mara, who called it abusive to fans whose schedules would be disruptive. Yeah, he's right. There's a lot of things the NFL does, and they don't care about the fans.
Nope.
It's the TV fan is who they care about. In person, so this is what's going to happen. The resolution allows the league to flip a Sunday afternoon game into a Thursday night game, move the originally scheduled game to Sunday afternoon during week 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. The NFL has 28 days before the game. Now, this is an increase of nearly 2 weeks from the earlier proposal. So you got a month heads up. No team will be required to flex to a Thursday night game more than one time. The maximum number of Thursday night games will remain 2 per team. The NFL said Thursday night flex option can be applied no more than 2 times during the season. Wow. Yeah, the NFL doesn't care. Not about you going to the game. They want to make sure you're watching the game. Yes, Eaton.
Feels like that one's a little more, the Thursday night flex, a little more logistically difficult to pull off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Even with 4 weeks.
Certainly feels like they're accommodating Amazon. It's like those guys got deep pockets. We want to continue to make them happy.
Bingo.
It's like what happens with the NFL is you're going to get the best games with the best announcers. How do you surround the product? Sunday night always got the best games. Well, Sunday night had Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. And then you had Bob Costas, who was the studio host for a while. I was doing highlights with Keith Olbermann. Then I eventually took over as the host. Sunday Night Football was really important to the NFL, and that's why Sunday Night Football got the best games from CBS or Fox, ESPN. Monday night did not get a great slate. Then you get Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, and all of a sudden, the NFL is going to accommodate ESPN and gave them a better schedule. Amazon comes in. Amazon's spending a lot of money. They want to accommodate them, make sure that they get a good product instead of those. Thursday night, now Michaels was talking about this. I'm just like, is anybody going to want to watch this product here? It wasn't good football. And then you didn't want that, week 16 Skylar Thompson matchup against, Baker Mayfield. Injuries. Then this way, let's say something happens to Tua Tagovailoa, where he's going to miss a game, miss 4 weeks. Now you might flex out of a Dolphins game because you're not going to have, a marquee matchup there or better odds with a better matchup there. Yeah, Paulie.
Yeah, there was a week 14 game last year. I think it was December 8th. It was Rams at Raiders. Rams-Raiders. I don't know who was at home. But that on the schedule, like, oh, that's great. Two relevant teams, two competitive teams. And then the Rams.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that went on way too long.
They don't care at all about the fans. That's 100% right.
Yeah. For me, okay, we've been talking about this for how long? Thank everyone. That's why people listen to us. We're way ahead of the curve on these things.
Sure.
It's so obvious. We mentioned it last year. But when they said, well, maybe putting better matchups on Thursday, the games will be better. The games are not going to be better because you're playing on 3 days rest.
I agree with that.
The Thursday night games always suck because the guys are still beat up from the week before.
You don't have enough time to game plan either. It's really, if you're not a team who has fantastic coaching, you pretty much go in unprepared because a lot of those teams need Friday install, Saturday install, and last minute things they run to on Sunday as well to be completely prepared. And as an NFL team, you're not going to go ahead and say, well, we got a Thursday game, so we're going to start a little bit extra film study early for this next matchup. It's not how it works. If you're playing a Sunday game, let's say even a Sunday afternoon game, Monday's film study, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it's
Monday's
like
usually a day off. Isn't Monday a day off, and then Tuesday is film study? No?
I have to assume they're going to do some sort of film study on Monday. I mean, it's a 7-day week job, man. I'm sure they want them in there in some capacity. Like, hey,
yeah, I'm going to say the hitting's going to be limited, though.
Oh no, they don't hit really at all.
Oh, they don't hit it. They
Only
don't
allowed 2 padded practices in season. 2.
Wow.
Whole year. Why do you think the caliber of football is so bad? No one can tackle. They don't practice it.
Yeah. Well, they want those guys staying healthy so they can
They
get
don't
eyes
care
on
about
the
the
team.
guys. Don't care about the guys.
That's
If
what
they
the
could-
guys to use.
If they could play 32 games a year, one on the weekend and one in the middle of the week, they do that. No, we don't have to practice. I don't care. Get out there and earn your keep. Playing those games on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Goon Grumpy.
Was there ever a better NHL fighter than the late, great Clark Gillies? He was a good fighter. There's been a lot of good fighters, though. He was really good, though. Really
good. Best. I don't know who the best. Maybe Probert.
Probert was really good, too.
I was about to say, like, if I'm thinking a quintessential fighter, that's the guy I'm thinking of. It's going to overtime, Vegas and Dallas, by the way. Just got the update on the phone. Drew L said, I got to tell you, I saw some training camp footage of Kyle Trask, and let me tell you, he looks like a franchise caliber quarterback. I'm glad you brought that up. I went ahead and have that queued up here for discussion today. Without the people's champion, as Grumpy would say.
Hold on. Is that a McDonald's franchise quarterback? Because certainly not an NFL franchise.
Maybe the franchise quarterback, the middle school brawlers. That's what it is.
Maybe he's reaching out to Kyle Trask. Antonio Brown is reaching out to Kyle Trask like he reached out to Cam Newton this week.
Hold on, what happened?
Yeah, you didn't see that? He asked Cam to sign a deal.
No, he He asked Cam if he wanted to be part of his Arena League team. Didn't specify if it was him to be the quarterback or to be an investor.
Who reached out? I'm sorry. Who reached out to Cam Newton?
Antonio Brown. Because he's going to be playing.
He also signed himself a $1 million one-game contract as well on a note card. On a note card. I don't know if you saw that as well.
Hold on. I did not see any of this.
He can't play. He can't pay the players on the team, but he's going to give himself $1 million contract. Think about it.
I guess when you're just moving it from your checking account to your checking account, I guess, like what's the worst that could happen? I mean,
who's coaching that team?
Antonio Brown's coaching the team too.
Oh man,
he's also working the snack shack as well. He's running the ticket booth also to let people in the game, and he's doing parking.
Oh my God, he is a wonder. He's a marvel, Antonio Brown. He's a jack of all trades,
multiple position player.
I mean, he is the gift that keeps on giving to this podcast.
Yeah, literally.
I kind of want him. I don't know.
Yeah, look up the Antonio Brown $1 million note card contract.
Let's first watch this. This is Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask practicing here with some OTAs. And you'll notice here on just like slants, they're missing wide open just practice slants here. There's the first one, and now here's Trask doing the same shit. Like, look at this. Oh
God. Here's the thing.
Overthrowing and leading the receiver out.
There's like
no pressure. It's a 5-yard, 7-yard slant, and you can't even complete. These are like routine. This is like, like when they're practicing. For people who aren't familiar with football, this type of route, it's almost like in basketball when they get ready to go out in the court and they're just doing the layups.
Layup drills.
Missing layup after layup.
Do you think that the Tampa Bay coaching staff is updating their Indeed profile?
They've got it ready.
Holy shit, we're about to be out of jobs.
They do. They've got that absolutely prepped. X.
As soon as they lost Brady,
that's
the end. They're back to being the sucking ears. I remember one time I used to, when the kids were young, we'd go to see the Panthers. One day we'd take them down and see the Panthers practice and get autographs. The kids had autograph balls and stuff like that. Guys would always sign. And I remember watching Chris Wenke, who was with Florida State previously. He come out and he was so bad. And I was like, holy crap. I said, and I was telling the guys, because I was on the staff, I'm like, this guy absolutely sucks. I said, they're going to be miserable this year if he's starting, but they went 1-15. They went 1-15.
Here's the thing. When we were putting the balls out to get signed, Grump went ahead and took ours back when he came through the line.
Very good.
He said, "We're not ruining the value of these balls. Come on now."
So bad. I tell you what, Tampa Bay is going to be so bad. That's a team right there. Carolina Panthers are already better than them.
Yeah, they're terrible. Tampa's done. I think that's about as clear as day.
Yeah, they don't have a quarterback.
Yep.
You lose the people's champion. This is what you get. That's what you get.
Oh. Grumpy, the people's champion. There he is.
Patrick Mahomes sent out a list of his top 5 all-time quarterbacks. And of course, let's just be honest. He's a young guy, so he's going to have some real recency bias when it comes to that.
I assume it's like, I haven't looked at it. I assume it's like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Does he throw in Drew Brees? Tell me he doesn't throw Drew Brees in there.
No.
Okay.
He puts high step Russell Wilson now.
No, please.
No,
No.
Oh, I assume maybe like
John Elway.
Maybe Elway. Maybe that's too. Hold on, Elway might be too long ago for him though. Maybe I'm just taking a guess here. I assume Montana might be too long ago too. Are we just like expecting all recent quarterbacks? Like, does he have Phillip Rivers and Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'll give you the list. Number 5.
Does he put himself on the list?
No, he does not.
No.
Okay, you know what? Congratulations.
Thank God.
Thank God. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You hear from specific fans who are Patrick Mahomes fans. That just makes him humble. That's why he is in the top 5.
Okay. He's not in the top 5 all time. here's what I do.
He
I
can be
do
there,
appreciate that he did not put himself in the top 5. Devontae Adams. I do appreciate that. And here's your list.
Okay, here it is. Yep. Okay. Brady, Manning, Rodgers ahead of Montana or Marino or Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Don't
To
agree
me,
with that.
Elway has always been better than Marino.
Oh,
Elway and Montana. I always thought Joe Montana was overrated. Always thought he was overrated. Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and Brady, of course, number 1. But think about it. People forget Johnny Unitas doesn't even exist for most people under the age of 50. They never even heard who he is. Johnny Unitas was acknowledged as the greatest of all time for all those years when it was a running game. He threw a touchdown pass in 47 straight games. It was a running game back then. It's when they called their own plays. It was a different game.
Sure.
Otto Graham. I mean, they don't get recognition because they're older guys. A lot of recency bias. But I have no problem with number 1 on the list at all.
I just like how he just kind of lumps it. Okay. Rodgers, I'm sorry, is not better than Montana. Rodgers is not better than Marino or Elway.
Not as a winner.
That's ridiculous.
And neither was Peyton Manning.
Not even as a quarterback. Not even as a passer. I don't believe he's better than those
disagree. I don't think Montana was that good.
I never watched Montana play, but go ahead.
Okay. The only reason Montana is up on this list is because he won 4 Super Bowls. The only reason. You don't see Bradshaw on that list. Bradshaw never lost a Super Bowl either. That was the beginning of the West Coast offense under Bill Walsh. But I'll tell you what, Joe Montana couldn't beat the Giants. Couldn't beat them. Too physical. Because he's little pussycat. I do that for you. Matter of fact, that should be a thing on your little keyboard thing.
One of the little sound effects. We need to get a recording. We need to get Grumpy in the recording studio.
Can we get you in the? I was going to say, when can we schedule you for the recording studio, and we could put you up in the mic and go, and like you like.
We have to have a lot of grumpisms on there.
Fuck. I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that, Grumpy. We're gonna have to. Yeah, I'm fine with that, Grumpy. I'm fine with that. We could do that. Let's continue along here, guys. Got here from Gungun says, is microwave popcorn not as popular as it once was? That's a good question. I don't think it is. I used to love microwave popcorn, but I can't remember the last time I've ate microwave popcorn.
I like microwave popcorn.
I think it still is popular.
I mean, it's not as good as movie theater popcorn, but
do you guys still eat microwave popcorn?
Yes. If I eat popcorn at the house, I get microwave popcorn, little Orville Redenbachers or Pop Secret.
Okay, so X obviously eats his fucking popcorn. He knows the brands that he gets too. I have not eaten popcorn in years if it's not been from a movie theater. But
you don't listen to music either. It doesn't mean it's going out of business.
Music is on the way out, guys. Music is done. It's done for. I'm getting rid of music altogether. It's kaput. Mario here, Grumpy. Oh, go ahead.
That's all right.
I want to hear your thoughts on microwave popcorn.
I have microwave popcorn here. I don't eat it that much. Every once, maybe, there'll be times where I'll have, hey, let's have a couple of bags a week and then nothing for 6 months. I mean,
a couple of bags a day from Grump?
No, like a couple of bags a week, like one bag on a Monday, another one on Thursday, something like that. And then nothing for months. Like I said, we got the warden, she gets the discount popcorn. And, so it sits there like in a big old industrial sized box of the popcorn.
She gets that Costco popcorn.
That's right. That's what
I will say. I've eaten the Costco popcorn before. That's great. Like the caramel Costco popcorn. That's the only popcorn I've had outside of
caramel popcorn is really good.
No.
You know one other popcorn too I really love? Kettle corn. It has to be fresh popped kettle corn. Oh man, that is something about fresh popped kettle corn.
It's something about food that just gets you excited, TJ. I don't know what it is.
He seems to gush over anything that's food related. Wow!
I get excited. What can I say?
Just to let people know, Joe Pavelski scores in overtime.
Hey, more NHL games. I'm down for that.
What did I say? Who hasn't been producing in this playoff series? Joe Pavelski.
I hope Dallas wins when they play this weekend. I hope, and then Jamie Benn's back, and I hope they win another one at home, and then it's going to be going down to the last. I hope it goes 7. Hope it goes 7. I don't care who wins at that point, but I'm just ready to see interesting series back and forth. That's what I'm ready for.
You will when Vegas and Florida play in the finals.
Nope.
Okay,
very good series there.
Mario Grumpy.
I've never heard of a soccer team retiring numbers. They don't do it. Brazil or Santos did not retire number 10 for Pele, and neither of Argentina or Boca Juniors for Maradona.
Yeah, usually how it is they have to get approval to wear specific numbers like 10 and 7. Those are very popular, and they have to get approved. Like no player can just be like, oh, I want to wear 7 or oh, I want to wear 10.
It's strictly an American phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's an American thing.
Yeah. Most times what they do too is they'll like memorialize the individual with statues out in front of the stadium, or like they'll be in like a lot of teams, depending on where they are, they'll have it where they've got like a club, like a
Ring
club.
of honor.
Sure.
Well,
and that's how they'll do it.
What it is with the jerseys, it's like an honor for that player to be awarded the ability to wear that number.
It's like LSU when they give out, what number is it? Number like, is it like number? It was like a case on. They give out a certain number every single year that you have to earn the number of, but that's what I kind of would equate it to. But James F. Grumpy.
Guys, half of those Yankee numbers retired should not be. Retired numbers are retired for the immortals. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, the Yankees went through a thing with Steinbrenner towards the end where every year they're retiring a number. There are certainly guys that should have their numbers retired. You win, 5, 6, 7 World Series. Yeah, you have your number retired. I know a lot of them complain when Billy Martin had his number retired. Billy Martin should have had his number retired just for all the shit that George Steinbrenner put him through. He deserved that number 1 retirement.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Number 1, TJ calls himself useless. Had you ever done that, TJ?
I think he did it because I called him useless. He's like, that's it. I'm useless.
Oh, okay. Number 2, TJ then read the same sentence over again. Number 3, he is indeed utterly useless. Wow.
Applause.
I don't think it's an applause-worthy freaking note, but I guess X wants it to be applause-worthy.
For me, it was.
Yeah. Stick it where the sun don't shine, X. Goon Grumpy.
Howard Stern used the phrase douche chills back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, well, shit, it even predates freaking Anthony Cumia.
Okay. So the joke has been stolen twice.
And double stolen.
2 times.
2 times, double dose. Oh, God. But here we go. We got Drew Grumpy.
Yeah, I remember that after the game, Morris brother was talking junk on Twitter, and then Djokovic brothers literally created a Twitter account on the spot to talk back to the Morris twins. Yeah. I'm sorry. His family's a bunch of badasses.
Shit.
Is the music of Bon Jovi dangerous? No. Oh, we're halfway. I like the music by Bon Jovi.
Can you name
Living on a Prayer?
Okay. Can you name 2 songs? Name 2 songs. I like Bon Jovi. Name 2 songs.
Living on a Prayer.
There's the one.
Give me a hint on the next one.
No. They put out quite a few.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
He's Googling it right now.
I'm not Googling it.
Just move on.
Ooh, give me another one, Grumpy. Come on.
No. You don't learn by me giving you things.
You think I'm going to learn music? Do you think after 30 plus years of life, you think that I'm going to all of a sudden be like, yeah, now I'm interested in music. Now I'm jonesing to listen and learn about fucking
You're
music.
the one who said I love Bon Jovi.
He sings one good song.
2 songs.
I know at least one song of Bon Jovi.
The only thing he's interested in is food and hair loss supplements. Come on.
Ooh. Drew says, Goon, I would think current hip-hop is more dangerous than Bon Jovi. Just ask John Morant.
It's my life. Live forever. Yeah, I know Bon Jovi. Yeah, Grumpy. I had to do
some. There you go, Grump. Look at that. You gave me 13 seconds to go on Google and you figured it out.
Looked it up. I know he did.
I had to look that one up. Absolutely.
Bon Jovi songs.
Oh man, here we go. I actually looked up Bon Jovi. Yeah, I Google search Bon Jovi songs. Is absolutely what I did.
My Little Brownie says, "Wonder what the Coyotes Never Say Die podcast is like. Their fans got to have a bleaker outlook than us."
I think if I'm a Coyotes fan, I would be more excited about the future than the Islanders.
Because now here's the thing: what would we talk about this offseason with the Coyotes? Where are they moving to? Look at how many.
Yeah.
Look at how many draft picks they have. Look at the young guys. We're going to move a veteran, get some more pieces coming back. At least they have a plan. When you have no plan, it's like the road to nowhere. Do you know who sang that song?
No.
I'm on the road to Talking Heads.
Okay. I don't know who. But I would be excited if I was actually a Coyotes fan, because I think to myself, okay, we've got a lot of young players who are stepping up. We've started this rebuild. We're in the middle of the rebuild. We've got a lot of, well, where are we go? You talk about what to talk about. Where are we going? Who are going to be our draft selections for this year? How are our young players doing? Who's ready to step up and take a step forward next year? Those would be the type of things I'd be talking about if we were a Coyotes podcast. And I think there's a lot of positive. I mean, like on our team, when we look at the minors, do we say Matthew Maggio's ready to step up next year? No. Are we saying William DeFore is going to step up next year and be a top 6 guy?
Nope.
No. We don't have anybody in the minors that I'd say. Maybe Samuel Bolduc. We've got one player who is going to be a bottom pairing defenseman that could step up and be an everyday NHL in the lineup. That's it. One guy.
Stefan Rosner did say that, Dmitry Orlov, maybe they get him for $6 million a year. That's if he'd want to go to the Islanders. You have 5, and he says, well, we got to move Josh Bailey. So what are you going to do to move Josh Bailey? What are you going to do? You're going to trade away more draft capital just to get a guy who's on the last year of his contract? Not me. I'm eating that. I'm sending him to the minors, let him get injured, hurt him out in the parking lot. I've made that suggestion numerous times before. Anders Lee, Josh Bailey, just run him over.
What's going to be really funny is when a fan actually takes that to heart.
No, obviously Grumpy is being hyperbolic. There is no seriousness behind Grumpy saying that, because
what was your motive? This guy, the grumpy old man, told me to.
Grumpy's going to be behind bars then. So
I bet I would not be behind bars.
Absolutely, you could. Absolutely, you're not allowed to say stuff.
Hold on, because I said something on a podcast and somebody did it thousands of miles away. No.
No, you don't understand the word. Absolutely, if somebody did that and they said, I took this, Grumpy told me to do that, so I did it, you absolutely have liability there, Grumpy.
You'll have to slip Grump in a burner iPhone so he can do the pod while behind bars.
Grumpy's going to spend his entire retirement behind closed bars.
Unfortunately, Grumpy will have to write 12 on his orange jumpsuit in order to wear his Patriots gear, his Tom Brady gear for the pod.
I got an orange Brady jersey in here.
Tampa one.
So should I address you as Mr. Grumpy Old Man or maybe Mr. Old Man?
Just King.
Oh my
No, he's talking about your dad, how you call him the old man.
No. He said, so should I address you
as
Mr. Grumpy Old Man then, or Mr. Old Man?
Oh, I thought he was referring to your father, how you call him the old man.
I don't know how you were raised, Drew, so I'm not making any. I'm just saying what I did. And it's usually the last name. So maybe Mr. Man.
Mr. Man.
Mr. Man. Who used to say Mr. Man? You remember that from Kathy Bates in what the hell was that? What the hell was the movie she won an Oscar for with James Caan? Gosh, I can't remember the name.
Okay. Well, you could ponder about that some other time, Grumpy. Drew Ellis says Joe Kick is the face of the league now. And
They need a better looking face, I'll be honest with you.
He's damn good.
Trey Turner sucks all of a sudden. The fuck is what Drew says here.
Went from the Dodgers to Philadelphia with a whole bunch of expectations with that huge contract. And the first year, you often see those guys struggle a little bit.
Yep. And Gungun says, duh, Grumpy Old Man could become a potential hip-hop sensation. Consider it, Grumpy. Consider it. Oh, man.
I see myself out there.
Going to another overtime game there with Vegas and the Stars. Yep. The Stars are 0-4 in overtime in the playoffs.
Well, now
they won today. Now 1-4.
And also in their history, when they've been down 3-0, they've won 6 of 8. Well, now it's, I think maybe it's 7 of 9 game 4s.
Wow.
Drew L says, this is why I never really liked fantasy baseball compared to other fantasy sports. And TJ, I forgot to tell you, I made a hilarious Lou meme. We showed that one earlier about him having dementia. Yeah, we showed that earlier about him getting dunked on. James F says here, guys, you like the new fair catch rule? I don't. Discuss. We'll talk a little bit about that, Grumpy.
Just like college football, where if you do a fair catch anywhere inside the 25-yard line, you get the ball to 25. Why not just put the ball to 25? Just take away the kickoff. It's a waste. Just take it away.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell spoke about it, Grumpy. Your favorite.
What did he say?
I'll pop it up on screen here. He was less than thrilled about it. Let me put it you that way, Grumpy.
Yeah, highly frustrating. It's very frustrating. But look, I don't make the rules, and so that's a new rule, and then we'll live by the new rule. We'll find a way to adjust, adapt, and still get what we want. That's what you got to do. But I hate that we continue to take away from the game. That's what really worries me. We continue to bleed this league. If we're not careful, it won't replenish at one point. But listen, it's the rules, and we'll make do and we'll adjust.
I think he is on the right track, though. That the league.
Go ahead, TJ.
I was about to say, I think he's on the right track, though. If the league continues to make poor decision after poor decision regarding the entertainment and the entertainment value of the game, that could negatively affect here long term the game, perhaps.
Well, I know you. I think you had. I don't know if you've discussed it on the podcast before, but I know you've discussed. You think football within the next 100 years could potentially be gone as a sport?
Try the next 4 or 5 decades. I think 4 or 5 decades is probably painting it longer than probably it lasts. I don't see football is going to be looked back 40, 50, 60 years from now as a barbaric sport. Like we look at the gladiator games now and we say, how could they allow people to fight lions and kill each other in the arena? That's what's going to kind of be looked at with the NFL and football, the way it's played now. Maybe they'll play some two-hand touch, a bastardization way of playing football, but
flag football.
Something. Yeah.
If that's what happens when you let a jarhead, that's a name for a Marine, okay, a hammerhead like Dan Campbell speak on the subject. He could barely get the words out because, he's a former pro football player. Kind of dumb. What he should have said was the wussification of the sport. That's what it is. They keep on taking all the things that made the sport popular and taking them out.
The big hits gone.
Gone. I mean, come on. It is what it is. People like the violence. That's why it's appealing.
Well, it's the same thing with hockey. Like they dropped a lot of the fights, and that was a lot of like fans who really didn't know anything about hockey or really didn't pay attention to it much. That was their favorite thing with the fights during the game.
If there's a fight, every single time there's a fight, everyone stands up. It's the most exciting part of the game. They eliminated it.
Got comment here from Drew L saying, all I know is TJ, I went to the bathroom at the exact same time as you and I beat you back. Pee faster. Oh man. And Drew L says, come on, Grumpy, give Kyle Trask some credit. You don't see those throws. Him is the man, or he's the man. I'm telling you.
He blows.
Oh, God.
They should have drafted a position of need instead of a guy who's going to be a career backup.
Trask has no future there.
Wasn't he okay for the 2 years he was there
in Florida?
He wasn't even on the roster for Tampa. He was the third quarterback. You wasted a second-round pick on a third quarterback on your team. It's true you had Brady, but Blaine Gabbert was the backup when Brady was there. This kid never got off the bench. He was captain clipboard. He burned a second-round pick on a clipboard guy.
And he still is.
Next one here, Grumpy.
There was some buzz and a couple of posts on social media today that Tua bulked up a lot. Mm-hmm.
Now, did you guys happen to see that? Are you guys aware of that? I have not.
I have not seen it.
Can we just see a meme with his head on top of the Incredible Hulk?
I don't think we see that, but I'm trying to. Okay. Oh my God.
Now, did you know, by the way, that they've been playing the WNBA games? Did anyone know that?
Yeah, it's in the playoffs, Grumpy.
Oh, really?
Playoffs?
Geez, I thought maybe they just started. Honestly, I didn't know. Nobody else knew either. I mean, it's surprising that they're in the playoffs.
I don't know why you had to bring that up then.
Because I saw something on ESPN that said WNBA.
Okay, cool.
He looks fat. He looks fat. He doesn't look bulked up. He looks fat. And what's with the damn? What is he? What is he? What is he?
It's a hoodie.
No,
He
I'm
does
talking
look
about his
overweight.
little leggings. Is those
Hold on. What are you fucking talking about,
the
Grumpy?
silly little costume he's wearing?
What do you mean the silly costume he's wearing? He's wearing fucking shorts and a t-shirt.
He's fat.
He does look fat in the lower body. He does not look in good. People are gonna be, oh man, he's bulked up. He looks like he's put on.
In his ass and his belly.
He's put on weight. Okay, this is not like toned type of weight where a guy, and maybe he needed to put on some fat on his body. I have no idea.
You think we're treading on Jamarcus Russell weight?
God.
No, man. Jamarcus Russell was like 270, 280 plus.
God. He looks.
Tua does not
Miami.
look in great shape.
Okay, Miami's not making the playoffs.
He should have just retired.
You
Miami
see how
will
there's
not make
not
the
like extra definition on his biceps, on his shoulders. It looks like he just got a thicker set ass, and looks like his legs just got wider. And it's not like, oh man, they're looking so defined that those quads aren't looking that defined. Hey, you know what? I'm just looking at one image. Maybe there's other images too, but he does not look like he put on good weight. But maybe he's got a picture of him pounding the weight room, and maybe he's doing all-time PRs.
Miami's not making the playoffs. Period.
Yeah. I love how people are saying he's looking thick. Yeah, okay. I'll try to see if I can find any other pictures.
I
of
mean,
this.
his red jersey doesn't even fit him. He's got to have 3 jerseys on top. I mean, look at it. Come on. You're the quarterback. That's terrible. His whole midsection is fat too. I know.
So this is what he looked like last year, just for comparison. And here's the thing: he's not even okay. They're going to run through camp too, right? But I think he's in good shape here.
Better shape than he.
I think he's fit. I think he's fit here for a quarterback. I think he's in good shape. But yeah, maybe just I don't know. He does look a little bit thicker in the midsection, a little thicker in the legs.
He almost looks like a Big Ben build.
No, Big Ben was a lot bigger than he was. Big Ben, dude, you forget X. Big Ben.
I'm not saying height wise. I'm saying like thickness wise.
Big Ben was a thick bastard. You're wrong. You forget how thick Big Ben was.
He looks like Marjorie who eats at Burger King every day. That's what he looks like to me.
Marjorie.
Okay, Big Ben. I'm trying to pull up what his weight is. Big Ben, I mean, he had to be pushing about 270.
He's got no definition to his legs at all.
We had Big Ben when he entered the league at 241. I'm going to say, yeah, he is probably closer to like 265, 270. Yeah, Bengals player called Roethlisberger as a 300-pound man. So
I think he was 270. I bet he was 270. He was also 6'5".
Yeah.
Noodles is what, 5'11", 6 foot?
And here's the thing, Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, like, he was thick throughout, and he was always a little bit heavier set. Even back in college with the University of Miami of Ohio, he never was a physical specimen, Big Ben. He could take a fucking hit, but that was about all, which is one thing that Tua can't do. But
that's true. Maybe that's why he thought he needed to put on some weight, because it will help protect his head.
Oh, my God. Hold on a second.
Maybe he's thinking if he's so big around the midsection that when he falls, his head won't hit the ground anymore.
Maybe it will cushion, his ass will hit first.
Yeah.
So, you know what's bad when I type in Big Ben's weight and it shows a picture? I don't know if you guys could see this, but he looks a little dumpy in an outfit where it said, "Did Ben lose weight?" It is not, it's not a very flattering picture of him either. But yeah, Big Ben was a thick boy there, X.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was big.
Yeah. Move along there. Yeah, but it looks like he put on a few pounds. And maybe it's good that he put on some weight. Maybe he needed to put on a little bit of weight there, a little bit of cushion.
So less escapability is a good thing for Tua Tagovailoa. Okay. I'm gonna take a hard pass on that one.
Okay.
Every time he gets breathed on hard, He's concussed.
Drew L says Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask slants are just your average Tua throws. Oh,
That's
shit.
true.
And Dallas extends this series. They finally won in overtime. Yep, there it is. Power play goal. Pavelski. Derek Monroe. D. Monroe says Mahomes is ahead of Rodgers. Rodgers chokes in the NFC title. Mahomes doesn't in the AFC title games. I think when all is said and done, Mahomes will have a better legacy than Rodgers. I don't deny that.
Yes.
And it's just like, hey, you just have to make sure Mahomes doesn't go out there and like sever a vertebrae and never play again.
Yeah, if he doesn't get hurt. I mean, injuries, a lot of great players, they get injured. You don't really hear much about them after that because, well, they got injured. Happens.
Yep. Absolutely. And 3 Super Bowl appearances to 1 Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl wins to 1 Super Bowl is what he says here. Drew Ellis says, actually, I'll give TJ credit on this, but if you actually listen to today's adults, a lot of them say that today's music sucks and that the music during Grumpy's time was far better.
Music is supposed to have a melody. It's supposed to be able to play instruments, not just electronic, just beep, 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 beep.
I know what I think Grumpy would love?
What was that?
Grunge rap. I think Grumpy would love that.
I bet I would hate that. It sounds stupid.
He would love it.
Jesus Christ. Tony Cheese said, can you imagine how insane TJ looks when he orders a large popcorn and 4 hot dogs without buns and asks them for a knife and a fork so he can cut it up and put the hot dogs and mix them with the popcorn?
You want to know what they do if he goes to the movie theater and orders that? They have somebody who's standing in the theater watching. Make sure he doesn't carry a bag in there.
Okay. I just want to tell you something. TJ got himself a couple little kittens, and they know when they're hungry, they just hang around TJ because whatever drops out of his mouth, they get some extra food.
I know. I give him food.
Sad thing is they don't get much food.
They don't get much.
I'm the sucker. I feed them anything they want. I'm the bad parent. What can I say?
You actually give them some of your food?
Always. Mario says, in world football numbers were originally assigned to positions. Like number 10 was always for center forward. Yep.
True.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
My goodness. Mario, who are you a fan of? I'm interested. And what club team? Number 18. Thank you there, Derek Monroe. Number 18 from number LSU. That's who you're thinking of, TJ. I knew there was one jersey number that was like always like you get an honor to get selected by your teammates to wear number 18. It's very prestigious for LSU. I guess there it is. Bad Medicine. Oh, You Give Love a Bad Name. Damn it. Those are all really good songs by Bon Jovi. I would assume TJ.
How the hell would you know?
His adult life.
You don't listen to music.
He forgot about him until he read that comment. And then he remembered.
Yeah,
that's right. It's like triggering my memory. Yeah, that's correct, Drew. I've not been to a concert in years, and I don't ever plan on going to another concert.
Now, the lovely Paige went to see Taylor Swift. You know where TJ was? Doing the Islanders Never Say Die podcast.
Hey, man, there's a podcast that had to be pumped out. The fans need to hear the disappointing news of the Islanders off-season, Grumpy. We can't. Who knows? Blaze of Glory. Tony Shee says, you think when it's over for dinner, or you think when he's over for dinner at his in-laws, with every meal, they have to make sure there's 4 boiled hot dogs for TJ to cut up and put in whenever they make.
Here's the thing. TJ will eat anything. He's eaten octopus.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, anything. Pheasant, dog.
Here's what they do. They just open up the trash can and let TJ rummage through it. That's what they do. Any leftover food, he just inhales.
He's like a human trash compact.
Yep, they step on his foot and his mouth opens up. You just scrape your plate right in there. Just we're done.
Oh my goodness.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Grumpy would be the type to say that a person is better than what the Islanders are currently in because at least prison has a direction.
Grumpy, we are in a pronoun-free zone. I can't call you king. Oh, there it is. Tony G says,
I don't believe in any of that nonsense either, if you can believe that.
The kids in the neighborhood refer to TJ's wife as Mrs. Hot Dog. And in effect, this is affecting your relationship. Imagine how obvious or oblivious he looks when she's giving him a disgusted side-eye look, and he's laughing his ass off with a mouthful of ramen while watching Super Mario Brothers. Oh man, yeah.
Jeez.
I've not watched any.
You know, we haven't heard from Tony Cheese a whole lot lately, but he's coming at you with both barrels today, TJ.
I was about to say he's got to make up for lost time there, Grumpy.
Very true.
He's firing on all cylinders.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of the NFL, now teams have an emergency quarterback, and Travis Kelce is seemingly the only one pissed off about that rule. I don't get that. He's a jerk.
I'm not a big Travis Kelce guy.
No.
That's quite obvious. Travis fucking Kelce. You're right. I like Jason Kelce more than him, but Travis Kelce just, no. I'm sorry. No. He just seems like an asshole all the way around. He seems like a conceited asshole. Even when he went out there when they were announcing their pick after the one Super Bowl, I'm like, what an asshole. Frank says Blaine was what, Grumpy?
He was the backup quarterback to the greatest of all time last couple of years. Blaine Gabbert.
Tua on his Leonard Fournette offseason diet.
Oh, yes.
Maybe he took nutritional advice from Mekhi Becton.
Yes. Matter of fact, I think there is a rumor, do we have it, where Tua Tagovailoa went into a McDonald's.
Oh, my God, Grump.
That should be on ready. You should have that ready to freaking play it every single time. Anytime we talk about Tua, Becton, any of those guys.
Grumpy, do you have a secret side deal that we don't know of the guy who posted the video where you just want them to get more and more views?
No,
he gets
I just
paid
think it's
for every
hilarious.
he gets paid for every single time they show that video. So
What do I
he's
care?
like, we got to make sure I go.
What
Do
do
you
I
get
care
it
if
that-
he gets paid for it? It's good.
Do you get it that we're joking around that you get incentivized to do that, and that's the reason why you are
You want us to
continuing
play the
bring that
video?
up?
Maybe I do. Maybe I got a side hustle with that guy.
Oh my God. Grump.
Gotcha. Grumpy. Oh my God. Yeah, Morgan Wallen. Yeah, she's
Well,
a
you know, he
fashion lady.
suspended his tour because he has apparently some issue with his
I thought
voice.
Morgan Wallen was a lady.
No, Morgan Wallen's a country. Oh my God. Morgan Wallen's a country singer, but yeah, apparently he has an issue with his voice, so he had to suspend his tour because if he continues to sing, it will permanently damage his voice.
Jesus Christ. My God, toughen up, buddy. Continue reading, please. Comments, Grumpy.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Ishikov, if they ever give him a chance for the Islanders. Yeah, that's not happening. It's too small.
He's
Tony G
25
says-
years old. What is he, like 23, 24 years? Maybe he's 24 years old.
I don't know. Tony Cheese says, tomorrow's Friday, TJ. Don't forget to listen to music on your way to work. I think he stopped doing that.
At Tony Cheese, just to give an update to everybody, I completely sworn off music. I don't listen to any music ever.
Drew says, Grumpy, that was your moment to say TJ eats moldy cheese. I don't need to pile on. When I see people just burying him alive, I ease off. Mario says, I'm originally from Ecuador, so I follow, I don't know who that is. Emelec? Sounds like some type of thing that you use, like if you have a bowel disorder. Here, I just watch games. I don't know. I dislike Real Madrid. He knows a team he dislikes, which is Real Madrid. Mario.
Okay, see what happens, Grumpy, when we try to pull this up. Nothing.
He needs to
We can't
dislike the teams that cheat with financial fair play, like Barcelona.
He didn't say he likes Barca. He just said he dislikes Real.
I'm going to probably go out on a limb. He probably likes. I'm just
Look at
assuming.
Tua. Look at Tua.
Okay, Grumpy, this is the one time you get this video for the rest of the year. So enjoy this one, Grumpy, unless there's a legitimate reason to bring it up. Unless Mekhi Becton is killing it on the field. This is the
Unless
last
we
video.
get Mekhi Becton herself on the podcast, where we can go ahead and do a play-by-play with her.
Is that back fat coming out the side? It is. Oh, Jesus. I mean, that girl should know that's not a good outfit for her. Look at look at her thighs and calves. There's some power in them legs.
She's pushing this guy. She's ragdolling this guy.
I love the guy in the zebra shirt who's just laughing and laughing and laughing. It's hilarious. He's almost throwing up. He's laughing so hard. It's so great. Oh, this guy just getting mauled. It's
He's
hilarious.
getting ragdolled.
It's great. I love that. Guy Becton.
Here you go, Grumpy. Drew L. I know you read this one already. And Mario, Real Madrid, the neo-Nazis' favorite team.
Nazis' favorite teams. What are you talking about?
Hold on. The Nazis' favorite team was Bayern Munich. I think that was the team of the Nazi party back in the time period. Look at the.
It was Barcelona. Was the fascist team back in the day.
They had the what was it? They had the government official was using taxpayer dollars to pay for their team back in
Mussolini.
the day.
Yeah, no.
I'm working 2 jobs most days now. Got a baby coming in less than a month. And oh my God, I think you should start a Patreon and put like snippets of stuff Grumpy tries to send for the podcast. Oh my God. Yeah, Grumpy. I don't know. It's just more work. That's why I'm like, yeah, we'll just offer everything for free. It's more work. I'm like, not worth it. But Andrew L says lots and lots of congratulations, Tony. I don't know why I thought Tony Cheese already had his baby boy come out, but I guess not.
It's now his wife is going to have to deal with 2 children. Andrew L says,
who's child number 1, Grumpy? Who's child number 1?
Lots and lots of rumblings online that Ray Masterio is a big fan of this podcast. Round of applause for that. TJ, that's your cue to hit. There you go. That's
Ray Masterio, baby. Let's go.
X, reach out to Ray Masterio and see if we can get him on the show.
I'll have to do 619 and then get the mask on.
Go ahead.
TJ could do a 619.
TJ could never do a 619. You have to be mobile to do a 619.
Oh shit.
Stop. Oh man. Tony Cheese says, I'll send you some good low cow media for you to listen to. What's that low cow media? I don't know. Drew L says here, I still can't believe that's one of Makai Becton's PR members saw my meme on your podcast and like flagged it. That will always be hilarious to me. No, it was the I don't maybe no, it was I think the one where it was like the Breakfast Club or one of those like morning talk shows that we used for like a really short snippet, and they immediately took our podcast now. So Ray Masterio for Islanders general manager.
Yes,
Ray
absolutely.
Masterio.
He would be electric. He'd be electrifying. Get the fans involved. That would be the most entertaining games.
And he'd wear a mask.
He would require the entire team to wear masks out there, so you never knew who was coming at you.
When he had
No
to be
names
really,
on the back of the jerseys.
when he had to be really serious, he'd take the mask off, be like, I have to address the fan base after this disappointing year. He would take the mask off and stand in solidarity with his team and with these fan base. Anyway,
I'm game. Ray Masterio for GM.
Drew L said, and I remember at first I felt so bad about it too. Now that just stuff happens. Like, we now know you can't show any soccer, you can't show any WWE because they don't fuck around with that stuff. Tony Cheese says this is true. He's a very big baby, just like his papa. And Ray Masterio.
That's right.
Drew L said here, oh, it might have been just a copyright flag by YouTube. Yeah, they copyrighted it. Yep. YouTube's, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. And I would love to see Lou get a 619.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great. You know what? He should do that. He should get 619 in front of all the fans out there on the ice.
I think he should blade. Have Luga blade. Put the crimson mask on. No hair. It's
Lou
up.
Lamoriello.
Gosh.
You go out there as Lou Lamoriello.
That's right.
Lou Lamoriello.
I just want to say a la Madrid to Mario because we like Real Madrid.
Can Senex do another podcast called Ray Masterio soon?
I know he said as Ray Masterio. Soon.
Oh, yeah.
I still have the mask.
Yeah, that was a prop you wore for like one day.
You should, not even one day.
It was
You wore
itchy. It was
oh
very
my God.
itchy.
Suck it up, X. Suck it up,
bitch. Stop being a bitch, X.
Grump, why don't you get barred from another minor league minors baseball game? All right.
He's never barred from a minors baseball.
Yeah, you did mine. I
No,
played.
you were like 16 at the time.
Whatever.
Ladies and gents, we are here at the end of the show today. Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
And X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up today?
Hope everybody liked the podcast. Had a good time doing it. And Sunday, we'll be back on. More entertainment.
What time, X?
Sunday, 8:30.
8 p.m. Sunday.
8:30 we'll be on.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into the show. Thank you, Grumpy and Sonics. Thanks, everybody, for commenting in. You know, we enjoy it. There will be just a reminder, probably no show next Thursday. So this Sunday, we're not going to hold any of the punches. We're going to bring everything we've got. It's going to be fast and it's going to be furious. Tony Cheese says here, Lou needs to get the stink face
from Rikishi.
Oh, I didn't know what the hell that was. Drew L says here, remember, masked up Son X. I'm glad the face reveal. It's much more entertaining. And I'd love Hanzi.
No.
Or Tonesy?
Love to see
the
Iron Sheik camel clutch on Lamarillo.
Pretty sure Lamarillo would die then.
He'd tap out.
He would.
And that
I don't think that the Iron Sheik could even do a camel clutch anymore. He's in pretty bad shape.
Oh, really?
And the green mist shit that the guy used to, that was Kabuki.
He used to
green mist.
He used to spit the green mist.
There are a lot of wrestlers who've done that, but the great Kabuki was one who did it all the time.
Andrew will say, don't say 8:30, then they'll start showing up at 9. Oh, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks, Grumpy. Thanks, Son X. We'll see you Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thank
We'll
you.
be there.